What's going on, babe?
Hey, babe, how was your day?
It was actually pretty productive. Happy to be home.
Good. You know, we got a game today. Honey, a little rough around the edges.
I mean, I'm saying I've been working all night, taking care of business, getting to the. You know what? I don't even want to talk about it. I got you. I'm not trying to be out here looking like a dusty, and that's why I'm excited to have T. Chanley as a sponsor of today's video. They help me start and maintain my skincare routine by making the entire process uncomplicated. Honestly, it's the best skincare system for guys like you and me. I recommend you start with their level 1 system, which come with all of the basics: a daily face wash to get rid of the dirt and grime on your skin, a 2 times per week exfoliating scrub to get rid of the dead skin cells, an AM moisturizer with SPF 20 because you should always be protecting your skin from the sun, and a PM moisturizer to help your skin stay hydrated and healthy throughout the night. My favorite part about T. Chanley is that every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. In addition to amazing skin, members of T. Chanley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off the retail price and the ability to customize your box. And because T. Chanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers an amazing deal. Just click the first link in the description. You'll get 30% off your first box plus a free gift. Click the link and get started today. We're taking care of ourselves. Self-care, fellas, is the first step to be able to get to that bag, to take care of business, and be on top of things and level up in every aspect of your life. Feel the Teej, my friends. What's going on? Is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels, and I am happy to be with you here today. And I am working from home. I am working from home today. Yes, I am working from home. Somebody in the chat just dropped something interesting, but we'll get to that shortly. So, one of the reasons that I'm working from home is because, over the last couple of days, I've just been feeling a little bit under the weather. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to take the rest of the afternoon off yesterday after my coaching calls. And I watched the Lions game. So they monkey pounded on the Green Bay Packers. Shout out to the Lions. And, I just wanted to get some fluids. I wanted to stay out of the streets. And I wanted to prepare myself. I actually considered flying out to Vegas tomorrow for the Canelo fight. But then when I started to take into consideration that MGM Grand don't have everything up and running, and it's difficult for me to work with my hosts over at the casino, I'm like, And then the final caveat was that I know that they're going to finish digging the rest of the foundation for the property that I'm building. I'm going to give y'all an update on that today because I want to give y'all some insight, and we're going to go from there. Somebody in the chat said something. Hold on, let me see what's going on. Somebody in the chat said, I wonder if Dr. Umar is... I don't actually feel sick. It's just like I got one nostril stopped up, and that's it. So I feel really good because I got a lot of rest yesterday. But I just sound like this. So I feel great. We don't make any excuses either way. We're going to run it up. Somebody said Dr. Umar dropped an interesting video today. Dr. Umar dropped an interesting video today. Let me see what's happening out here in these streets. I'm going to pull it up. We're just going to pull it up, and we're going to roll out from there. Let's see if we can find it. This is a live show, so we do everything impromptu. I do have plans for you guys, but then at the same time, I have to make sure that I tap into the things that makes the most sense. So let me see if I can find this video. I said he dropped an interesting video this morning. Let's see what it is real quick. You know me, man. I'm down for whatever. Said a $50,000 debate, huh? 50,000. It says, is that the video that y'all talking about in the chat? $50,000 debate video. Let's see what it is. Dr. Umar Johnson, King Kong Consciousness. Let's see what's happening. Let me see. Is this the one? What y'all talking about?
Listen, family, let me say this. Stop asking me to debate people who are not my equal. I'm not disrespecting nobody. I'm not disrespecting nobody. I'm a humble brother. But please don't test my intellectual gangster. I'm a humble brother. But please don't test my intellectual gangster. I'm not debating him. He not on my level.
Debating who?
He hasn't achieved in life what I've achieved in life. He don't have my credentials, my accomplishments, or my stature. He is a YouTubian struggle streamer. That man's only claim to fame is he is a YouTubian struggle streamer. If you think I'm going to take my 6 degrees and my 3 certifications, if you think I'm going to take my 6 degrees and my 3 certifications, if you think I'm going to take my 9 pieces of paper and put it up against a YouTubian struggle streamer with no credentials, no grassroots resume, no history of activism, you're out of your damn mind. Don't test my intellectual gangster. I will never debate a YouTubian struggle streamer unless you paying. $50,000 donation to FDMG, I will gladly conduct an intellectual execution.
Who is he? Who is he talking about? Is he talking about me? Is he talking about me? All you got to do is put a name on it. Well, listen. We don't need no. We don't need no. I'm gonna assume, for the sake of conversation. I'm gonna assume for the sake of conversation. I'm gonna insert myself into this. We don't need no sponsorships. We don't need none of that. If you want to come up, if you want to put up 50 bands, we can put up 50 bands. I have no idea who y'all literally just dropped this in the chat. And this is one of the reasons why I like live streaming. This is another reason why you guys are also going to have to make sure that you're here on time in the morning. You got to make sure that you're here on time in the morning. Because if you're not here on time in the morning, then you definitely are going to miss out. See what happened when you're not on time? Send this to your friends and family. A lot of these people in the chat saying it sound like you say, oh. Let me give me a second. Let me gather myself. Let me hear the rest of this real quick.
$50,000 donation to FDMG, and I will gladly conduct an intellectual execution.
Talk your talk.
$50,000 donation to the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, and I will gladly conduct the intellectual execution. That's light work. That's light work. That's light work. That's light work. But you're going to pay me to come down to his level. He ain't on my level. He's a YouTubian struggle streamer. That's all he is. That's all he ever going to be. You want the debate? Put the 50 grand in the Cash App. Put the 50 grand in the PayPal.
You got to put a name on it. You got to put a name on it. It's a lot of people that's calling out Dr. Umar Johnson. It's a lot of people that's calling out Dr. Umar Johnson. He feeling spicy. Yeah. This is the way that we like to start our Fridays, ladies and gentlemen. I love it. I gotta put the right banner on this one. Y'all gotta give me a second. Give me a second. I gotta get the banner up on this one. We're not gonna miss out on this one. I had a whole show planned for y'all today, but I see that we're gonna get spicy on a Friday. And since we getting spicy on a Friday, we gotta make sure boom. Hold on. I'm almost done. I'm quick with it. I know y'all messy. Messy out here in these streets. Give me a second. Let me make sure that I think Umar Johnson just trying to come up on a bag. There we go. We there? Hold on. Let me make sure I get my sponsorships in. First and foremost, make sure you tap into that Teej Hanley 30% off your first order plus a free gift. Also, on top of that, make sure that you get into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Let me hear what the rest of Dr. Umar Johnson is saying in the streets.
Put the 50 grand in a check or money order. I'll debate them anywhere you want. I'll debate. But if you ain't paying me, you out your damn mind. You ain't getting no free lecture by the top man on the planet in black consciousness, the top Pan-Africanist of the 21st, the top school psychologist in history. You out your damn mind. You out your damn mind. You want me to conduct the intellectual execution? You got to pay for that. Ain't nothing free around here no more, African. Got to put a little smell good on. I might run into some revolutionary queens who need a picture. I might run
You know how I know he not talking about me? You know how I know he not talking about me? I'm going to give you 3 reasons. 3 reasons why this is all cap, all purely entertainment, and that this has nothing to do with A, debating, or me debating me. I'm going to tell you why. Number 1, we offered to debate Dr. Umar Johnson and have him come out to Detroit. As a matter of fact, Dr. Umar Johnson always be in Detroit as far as him going up to wherever it is for him to do his Pan-Africanism, talking about Rosa Parks and all of this stuff, right? And this is no smoke, right? Because listen, Anton is a reformed former YouTube smoke giver, right? I'm an equal accountability partner, but I'm a reformed smoke giver. Dr. Umar Johnson is always traveling in these parts or whatever, and he don't even be getting paid for it. But see, we offered for Dr. Umar Johnson to come up on the platform, and we offered to triple whatever his fee was. This is a fact, though. Got the receipts, got the text messages, got everything. First, he accepted. This was months ago. A lot of y'all that's been around for an extended period of time, y'all know this to be true. We offered to triple whatever it was that his fee was. We didn't care what number that he named. You guys know that this is true. He accepted, and then he turned it down. He accepted, and then he turned it down. We offered to fly in first class, even though he be here, right? On his own in that little raggedy Impala that he be renting from budget rental, thrifty rental car, wherever it is. We offered to put him up in the best hotels, the presidential suite inside of MGM Grand, taken care of. Him and a companion if he wanted to bring a snow bunny with him. We wasn't going to say nothing to nobody. But we offered to triple whatever it was that he was charging everybody else to run on these little struggle podcasts. We offered to get him out here. That's number 1. Number 2, the reason, let me tell y'all, this is all a bluff. The reason why this is a bluff is because Dr. Umar ain't never got 50 bands for no speaking engagement in life. All right? And the reason why people do this is the same reason why people say, they be like, hold me back. Hold me back. It's like if you really wanted to scrap, then you would take the fees, whatever it is, right? Because we don't care. 50,000 ain't shit to me. You know what I'm saying? 50,000 is nothing. And the bag chasers, the people that's in the Patreon, they already know that 50,000 is not nothing to me. I spent 50,000 at the casino last week. That's a fact, though. Spent 50,000 on my trips. It's a fact. So 50,000 is nothing. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times people will throw out a really big number because they don't want to actually debate with you, but they know that the number is too big for it to make financial sense for them to ever come on the platform. The recoup is crazy. You know what I'm saying? The recoup would have to be crazy. So they'll throw a wild number out there because they hoping that nobody will actually accept for it, but I'm going to be your huckleberry. That's the next. We'll get back to that part. That's the second part. The third part is anybody that's a part of the Patreon know the type of bags that we bust down, know the type of numbers that we doing. It's crazy. It's crazy the amount of money that we make on everything that we doing because I show my brokerage account. I show my YouTube, whatever it is I get paid from YouTube. I show my other businesses, my web development company. I show my real estate and what it is that I'm doing there. So we're going to get into all of that. But my point is this. This is all cap.
Now, I'm assuming, again, that he's just throwing out some random YouTuber that different people is typing in his chat or whatever, so on and so forth. We just going to take that at face value. But the reality is this. We specifically offered for him to come on the platform. I'll do you this. If, because I don't want to automatically assume. If you got $25,000 in your bank account, if you got 25 bands in your account, if you can come up with 25,000, because see, I don't want to just give it to a school that we've been trying to get open for the last 12, 13, 14, 15 years. I don't want it to just go into oblivion and then you give it over into a snow puppy talking about we couldn't do business with black people. If this is to somebody like a me, right? Because we bag chasers over here. 50,000 is shit to me, right? I spend that on my chick. If that be the case, if you can come up with 25 bands and you put it up publicly, I'll give 50,000. We can put it together. We'll let the people decide who win. So whatever it is that you put up, I'll double it. If you put up 30, I'll put up 60. If you put up 50, I'll put up 100. If you put up 100, I'll put up 2. Whatever it is that you want to put up, I'm making this a public because anybody can talk shit, right? Anybody can say something on the internet. Anybody can talk, they talk because they got their little followers and all of that stuff in their back and whatever. So let's assume that he's talking to me because I'm 98% sure that he's not talking to me, right? But we want to make sure that we catch all bluffs. I'm a poker player. We don't react to emotions. We don't go back and forth. Whatever it is that you put up in cash, we not going to do no equity. I don't have to pull no money out of no accounts, like out of no brokerage accounts or nothing like that. We just gonna hit the wire same day. When I see my SS Impala that I wanted, wire, same day. Crib, wire, same day. We don't make no excuses whatsoever. We big dog over here. You know what I'm saying? So let's assume that he's talking to us. We don't want nobody just throwing out no empty promises and bluffs and they just talking because we make real offers. We send real bags. We don't owe nobody no money. And so if he ever wants to come to Detroit or we'll fly to him, we'll give you 2 first-class tickets. We'll give you the best accommodations and the best hotel in the city. We'll give you private security and we'll put up double of whatever it is that you offer publicly and you show it. We'll put it up and then we'll have a debate. Let the people decide who wins and whoever wins, they just get to keep it all. And when I say we, I'm saying that me and you. You put up 25, I put up 50. You put up 50, I put up 100. Whatever it is that you want to put up, my bank account say Anton Daniels on it. Nobody else on it. But this is cute. I think that this is incredibly entertaining for a Friday. Let's continue.
To some revolutionary queens who need a picture from King Kong. Y'all know how that go. Institutional E5 that's what I'm talking about. Institution builder E5 that's what I'm talking about. Don't test my intellectual gangster talking about a damn debate with a nobody. A damn debate with somebody whose only claim to fame is a bunch of YouTube videos. Ninja, please. Ninja, please. Ninja, please. My lips was a little ashy, lady.
Oh, he's talking about Myron? Oh, okay. Well, then okay, that's better. Okay. All right. Well, then that makes more sense. Let me remove. See, I be putting myself in a situation because you know me. Like, I don't like to react to different stuff that anybody else is talking about because y'all put this battery in my back and y'all said, Anton, this is what's happening. Let me look at it more from an entertainment perspective. Now I'm taking myself out of it, all right? Thank you guys for clearing that up because you guys are avid watchers and you are intimately familiar with what's going on. I'm going to read the super chat shortly, but let me continue watching this.
I got a new program coming out for the ladies. It's called Lunch with the Doctor. It's called Lunch with the Doctor. It's called Lunch with the Doctor. You make a $500 donation to FDMG Academy, ladies. $500 donation to FDMG Academy, and you get a free lunch with Dr. Umar, restaurant of your choice.
Come on, man. Y'all not taking this serious, bro. Y'all not taking this serious. Are y'all seriously taking this? Come on, man. It's the legend in y'all community. It's the person that y'all rock with. Is this y'all king? Is this y'all king? Is this who y'all rocking with right here? This y'all king? Huh? Come on, man. What we talking about, bro? Come on, man. I'm not going for this. I'm not even going to waste my time with this, bro. This is a waste of my time. This ain't even about no bag at this point. This ain't about no community building. This ain't no bag. This is just talk, man.
In the state of Wilmington, Delaware. I said we got a new program called Lunch with Dr. Umar. Private lunch. Ladies, you got to donate $500 to the FDMG Academy, and I will take you to lunch, private lunch, any restaurant you want in the state of Delaware. It's called Lunch with the Doctor, and it costs you $500.
You gonna pay him $500. He gonna take you to any place you want. Nigga, what?
You don't pay for the lunch, I pay for the lunch. $500 donation to FDMG.
Is the math mathing or is the math not mathing? I'm just curious. Is the math mathing or the math not mathing? I'm just curious. This is silly. This is literally the silliest thing that I've ever heard in my entire life. This is the silliest thing. Listen, 50,000? 50,000. Come on, man. Don't talk to me about no 50 bands. Don't talk to me about no 50 bands. This is the dumbest thing. Bro, whatever it is that y'all spent last month, see, I would have had that school up and running in 3 or 4 months, baby. I would have had that school up and running in 3 or 4 months. Here, let me pull up what I spent last. This is what I spent last month. No, actually, this is this month. Ain't this month still going? Ain't this month still going? You know, Anton had no problem with going with the receipts. Let me spin this around because I don't want y'all to say, you know, that the thing wasn't mirrored. You know, this ain't the month still monthing? September 2023, ain't the month still monthing? Spending my category, September 2023. That's what my spending is for the month. So far. Total spending for the month. This ain't for the children. This is real life. That's what other account that you want to go into? You want to go into another account? Don't worry. We can go into another month or another account. We can go to a different account. You talking to a whole nother. This is a whole different category over here. We in a whole nother bracket. Whatever it is that your favorite rapper is spending, whatever it is that your favorite content creator is doing, whatever it is that they got going on that side of the field, we in a whole nother lane. We forever money. Whatever it is that your friends got going on over there, we spend that in a month. Whatever your daddy made last year, whatever your family came together, whatever it is that y'all got going on and all of that type of stuff, we do that. And listen, this is every month. Every month we do the same thing. Over and over and over and over and over. Man, don't you ever insult me talking about no $50,000. I'll spit on you. 50 bands. You know, dog, you know what my payroll be looking like for my business accounts? Man, y'all keep talking about a $500 dinner. I don't ask for money. I give money. I fund businesses. For all of the people that's a part of the Patreon, make sure you tap into the Patreon because in November, right before Christmas, I'm going to be funding y'all businesses and I don't even want no equity in it. For the third time. Come on, man. What we doing? 50,000? know how much out of money? Man, this is silly, bro.
And I take you to lunch. Any restaurant in the state of Delaware. Oh, yes. Brothers, don't hate. We got to stop hating. Brothers, we got to stop hating. Date with the doctor. Lunch. It ain't dinner, it's lunch. It ain't dinner, it's lunch. It ain't dinner, it's lunch. But I'll take you to lunch. $500 donation. Queendom only. I'm going to work on something for the brothers, too, that's more gangster. I'm going to work on something with the brothers, too, that's more gangster. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Don't hate, ninja. Don't hate, my ninja. Don't hate, my ninja. Because if I ask your wife if she want that luncheon, if I ask your wife if she want that luncheon, if I ask your baby mom, do she want that luncheon with the doctor, we know what she gonna say, ninja. Don't play at me. Don't test my intellectual gangster. If I roll up on your girlfriend, your live-in prisoner, you call a girlfriend. If I roll up on your live-in prisoner, your romantic prisoner, you call a girlfriend, who ain't there because she want to be, she there because she got to be. If I roll up on your romantic prisoner, my brother, if I roll up on your romantic prisoner, you call a girlfriend who living with you because she got to, not because she want to. Do she want that lunch date with the doctor?
What are we talking about, y'all? Honestly. Like, swear to God. Honestly. Is this y'all revolutionary? I had stopped even reacting to his videos for a while until somebody in the chat said, Anton, is this for you? And then other people clarified and said, no, that wasn't for you. I swear to God, man. Is this our revolutionary? Is these the people that's going to be running supposedly be the principals of our schools? And is this the person that compared themselves to Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and Frederick Douglass and all of these people? Honest to God, man. Like, come on, man. Even the supporters they gotta say that based off of how he's marketing himself, this is cringeworthy. Based off of how he markets himself to the people, this gotta be just all 100% just for the gram. Gotta be for the gram. This is the most cringeworthy thing that I've ever seen in my entire life. Honestly, if all the videos that I've ever reviewed, and I wasn't even looking to review this today, of all of the videos that I've ever reviewed in my entire life, this got to be one of the most cringeworthy videos that I've ever seen of Dr. Umar Johnson in my entire life. In my entire life. Started off challenging people, don't even have a clue how much money that all of these YouTube creators, because I'm going to just tell you, we are...
Do your wifey want that lunch date with the doctor? I think we all know the answer to that. Me and you are not the same. I keep telling you that. Me and you, we not the same. You not 6'3", dark chestnut cocoa brown with the North Philly beard. You ain't Leo King, ninja. You ain't Pan-Africanist #1. Nobody flying you to every continent to hear what you got to say. Only me. Don't make me take my t-shirt off and turn into King Kong right now. Don't make me beat my chest. Don't make me beat my chest. King Kong. Stop playing. But anyway, brothers and sisters. Castro was a European. Now you getting blocked for that silly ass comment. See? See? Now you just got blocked for a silly ass comment. See that? I can't fly you out, family. I can't fly. Lunch with the doctor. Oh, yes. $500 FDMG donation. Get you a lunch with the doctor. Don't worry. They're going to be flying in. Y'all not going to know about them, though. They're confidential. Lunch with the doctor is confidential. Lunch with, unless the queen want to post the picture we take at the lunch date. That's up to her. But on my end, it's all confidential. Lunch with the doctor. If you're ready for your lunch with the doctor, just text me, ladies. If you're ready for your lunch with the doctor, just text me, ladies. $500 donation to FDMG. You meet me in Delaware, choose the restaurant, and we will choose the time, and I will, women only. I don't need lunch with no brothers. We can find something else to do. This is all unapologetically African alpha male, only sisters. Can snow bunnies buy a lunch date? See? Can snow bunnies buy a lunch date? Somebody just said, I should block you for that question, but I'm going to let you ride because you're a mentally ill African. I should block you for that question, but I'm going to let you ride because you're a mentally ill African. I should block you for that question, but I'm going to let you ride because you're a mentally ill African. Can snow bunnies buy a lunch date? Say it with me, ladies. Ladies, y'all know the shout. Y'all know the chant. Say it with me, ladies. Black queens forever.
No bunnies never.
Come on.
Get on out of here with this shit, man. This junk is so stupid. All of these people is just false prophets, man. Let me read some of these super chats and we're going to get started with the real show. This is the dumbest thing I ever seen in my life. P. Shank in the building. Shout out to P. Shank. I appreciate you, big dog. Says, happy Friday, Anton. I appreciate you, P. Shank. 187 says, Anton, who are you talking about? I don't know. Maybe they said Myron, so shout out to Myron. Anthony M says, good morning. Hope everyone listening have a blessed day. Shout out to you. I appreciate you, my friend. Jamal Park says, Anton, how do you deal with setbacks and mistakes in business? I know a lot. I know I have a lot to learn and have already made some mistakes. Still pushing forward and hoping to get some insight from you. Stop looking at it from a mistake perspective. I don't know any business owner that have not created businesses that then failed or had a setback. Really, you got to look at it as failing forward, right? Is learning what you didn't know and then applying it in the future. And a lot of times you don't even know what you're going to apply it to. And that's why I say a lot of times that when people are looking for their purpose, you shouldn't, because your purpose is going to be shown to you through the work. So for example, right, my journey in becoming an entrepreneur largely took me through becoming a software engineer, because the only reason I ever wanted to become a software engineer in the first place is because I wanted to learn how to more easily implement from an e-commerce perspective the things that I wanted to do from a business perspective, right? And so as I took that journey, I then learned that I had to learn more about my software engineering or learning more about web development from a back-end perspective, creating databases in order to be able to even take emails, right? When people send messages, the forms that process everything, it had to run through a database, right? And so then I realized, okay, so I can get a bigger shovel, I can get a bigger bag. And then I started leveling up and going into corporate America, which then allowed for me to then pour even more resources into what I was starting to be successful from a business perspective, right? And then, as a designer, you start moving from software engineering, and I realized that I was more suited for UX UI, which is user experience, user interface, right? And that user experience, user interface experience has allowed me to look at everything from a content creation, from the restaurants, from the different businesses that I build, even to the designs of the homes that I have, right? It is impacting everything that I do, which I then went more into content creation, use that experiences that I've had in order to be able to reach people, build more connections, and then ultimately went back into corporate America, and then I'm going even further into the real estate game. But my point is this: a setback is just a setup. If you look at it the right way, a setback is nothing more than a setup, because a lot of people don't have the endurance to get to the end or get to the success part of it, right? They start a business, or they may get a setback, or they don't make an adjustment. They didn't understand the marketing aspect of it. Instead of learning it, or instead of seeking insight or getting mentorship on how it is that they can grow in those different areas of their life or different areas of business that they wasn't familiar with, they'll then give up and just go back into being regular, or they'll fail, and then that'll be the end of the conversation, when in reality it was supposed to be a lesson that you then utilize to learn what not to do, or take the learned lessons from the previous experience and apply it to something new. So listen, it's all an opportunity. It's all just a part of the game, but it's all mental first, and that's why I try to give people the mental fortitude of what success looks like in the character development along with the business principles, because just making money doesn't mean you're not going to have setbacks. Amazon lost money for 10 years before they started actually making money. Elon Musk almost went broke. He was one day away from bankruptcy. He put everything that he ever had into Tesla, and he was literally one day away from bankruptcy before he lost everything. Instead, now he's considered one of the richest people in the world, right? So it just depends on your mental fortitude. It depends on how steadfast you are in continuing to push forward and learn and make adjustments according to the business principles, the business environment, the environment by which you have to exist in, your competition and all of that. So just continue to evolve and grow versus look at it as a setback and something that you can't do. You know what I'm saying? So just have the mindset and also surround yourself with people that's going to add value into your life. They'll keep you encouraged because most people understand what it means in order to be successful. They have all been through something. Shout out to 67 Big Mel says, hey, AD, love that 96 Impala. I had a 67. I need the 67 too. And I need that Lincoln. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you, my friend. I appreciate you. Thank you for contributing into the platform. Michael Morris is in the building, says, greatest show in the morning. Love the messiness in the chat. Peace and blessings, Anton. Feel better, my brother. Thank you, my friend. I already feel great. It's just the way that I sound. I'm sorry about that, though. I'm here. We going to cook up. John Doe is in the building, says, Umar allegedly wants to smoke as long as he is compensated. I know. Meanwhile, he was offered a bag by Anton and ducked the smoke. He is like a prize fighter who cherry picks his opponents to keep the title. Man, ain't nobody paying attention to Umar Johnson. We're going to keep doing that. I ain't worried about him. We already made the offer. We're not going to keep making the offer over and over again. Michael Morris says, P.S. I became a bag chaser this month, and the info in there is next level. Thank you. Oh, let me give you a round. Shout out to all of the bag chasers. Shout out to everybody that is successful. Shout out to everybody that's leveraging the information inside of the Patreon and then going to get that seed money to help you to be able to grow your business. I appreciate you for tapping in, my friend. Let me read a few more super chats and then we're going to get started with the show. Anthony says, what's going on, Anton? Is there a way for someone, is there a way to see where someone is listed on a coaching call on Patreon? I could put up a list if you want me to. That's a really good suggestion. I could put up a list on the Patreon and see where you are in the coaching queue. Because as people continue to evolve or fall off, then I'll start to add more people into it. 187 said $500 for a lunch, $5 and $537.50 to bust it down. Shout out to my dog. I appreciate you. 187. JC Incorporated says Red Lobster with any black queen who donates $500. Jamal Parks is in the building, says, I'm a pray I can get to the point where 50,000 is nothing and I'm going to work towards that goal. Faith without works is dead. Inspiration for motivational purposes only. I'm really broke. Now, actually, I take that offer off the table. It's tight out here in these streets. Let me take this watch off. Let me put my Apple Watch on. We doing the rest of the show with the Apple Watch on because I don't want y'all to start looking at me as fool like I got something I ain't got. It's tight out here in these streets, and I ain't got nothing for you. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to John Doe. I appreciate you, big dog. Marcus Hill says, this man is pure entertainment. That's a fact, though. Old Gun says he is going to mess around and catch a bad one. Or Anton going to catch a body on a debate. You know what I'm saying? Bam Bam Lynch is in the building, says, he the reason I cut my hair. Y'all forget my twin. Craig G is in the building, says, I can't take Dr. Umar seriously because he presents himself like a pookie and he's a representative of a man he would not want his daughters to marry. Yet he's telling y'all to jump into the community and jump into the fire. Tech Coach Ralph in the building says, you learn the most through failing forward. That's a fact, though. Shout out to Tech Coach Ralph. No Drift is in the building, says, I listen every day and appreciate the 20-minute clips. Learn a lot in my investment. Learning a lot of my investment, entrepreneurial journey. Thank you. No, thank you. And shout out to all of my Londoners out there in the streets. Ring Rivals with a side says, my favorites are Alex Hermosi, Anton Daniels, and A-Lux. Shout out to you. I love Alex. Alex is dope. He's incredible. He got the private jet, though. I don't. I'm dusty out here. I'm tight. Dr. Umar is still out here finessing the community for cheeks. Good morning. AD is not worth 50K. Get that brother a pork hot dog with mustard and extra chili. Shout out to you. Rod says, thank you, bro. Joining the Bag Chasers the first. Shout out to you. J Dubs is in the building, says, I hate asking you to repeat yourself, but I would love your top book recommendations. Also, found great value in the $1 Million Work Ethic. Now, I think that the first thing that men need to read is David Goggins' You Can't Hurt Me. Then I will move over into probably Tim Grover's Winning. Tim Grover was the trainer for Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. And then I would start off into the money aspect of it. Because first you got to get the mental and then you got to start getting the money, right? Maybe the subtle art of not giving a F, right? It's the Millionaire Morning Show. Then I will move over into possibly Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Richest Man in Babylon. You definitely need to read Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life. Random Walk Down Wall Street. You got to read that. Maybe even The Big Short. And then I would move into Money Master the Game by Tony Robbins. And then How to Win Friends and Influence People by Napoleon Hill. Let me run those books down right off the top of my head one more time. Got to make sure I got them in the right order. Definitely will read David Goggins' You Can't Hurt Me. Winning by Tim Grover. Subtle Art of Not Giving a F. Forgive my C student brain real quick. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Richest Man in Babylon. I would definitely go over into throw in Buffetology on top of that. The Big Short. Money Master the Game by Tony Robbins. 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson. Random Walk Down Wall Street. And How to Win Friends and Influence People by Napoleon Hill. Those are all of my top book picks. You cannot go wrong with those books because it gives you the mindset for what success is, for what endurance is, teaches you how to look at money, teaches you how to look at how to manifest better circumstances, how to network more effectively. All of those books are all of my top books. I read them regularly, at least every year, and then throw in the Holy Bible if you just so happen to be a spiritual person. All of those books are great. All of those books are absolutely great. Shout out to J Dubs. I appreciate you, my friend. Let me give you the round of applause. Brittany B is in the building, says peace and Pan-African, whatever. It's my birthday. Hey, can we get a round of applause for Brittany's birthday, y'all? Second birthday, rocking with the family. Just wanted to thank everyone for the love. I love you all. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Brittany. Happy birthday to you. Woo. Sorry, my voice is a little messed up because I'm a little sick. But happy birthday, Brittany. I love you, baby girl. Thank you for rocking out with us for a long time. Johnny Olton Jr. says, are you a Michigan Wolverine fan? Yes, I am a Michigan Wolverine fan. I love the Michigan Wolverines. Go blue in the building. Shout out to all of my Michigan Wolverine fans. The Gravy Way says, a setback is just a setup for a comeback. Or for a come up. You know what I'm saying? Last but not least, Intelligent Savage 629. In my Umar Johnson voice, Umar Johnson, you got to versify, crucify your snow bunnies. Crucify. Salute AD on another one. Thank you, my friend. Rocking out with me. All right, so let's get into the show. Thank you, Dr. Umar Johnson, for entertaining us. One thing I like to do on a Friday is I like to drop the link in the chat for anybody that wants to come up and say anything contrary to what I may say. So if you have a disagreement with me, I am going to drop the link in the chat for you to come up. You do not have to be on camera. If you have a disagreement with me today, you are more than welcome to either cam up or cam down and then communicate your thoughts to me only if you have a disagreement with me. And we're going to go from there. All right. So let me read a couple more super chats and then we're going to go ahead and get started with the show. Carolina's own DJ K Smooth is in the building, says, Anton, can't believe you didn't mention. Sorry about that. The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. They need somewhere to start. You know what I'm saying? Can't just jump right into it. Hold on. Let me get some water. Got a brother with the coughs. Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham is a good one also, though. Woo! We gonna rock out, though. No losses. 67 Big Mel says, just joined the Bag Chasers. Long live KS. Let me give a round of applause for the Bag Chasers. Thank you, my friend. And then my dog Jordan is in the building, says, Anton, we really appreciate the work you're doing by helping so many people. And you're the only one on YouTube doing that. Let me get a round of applause for that, too. And I don't miss. All right? All right, let's go ahead and get into the show. So before we get into the UAW and the possible government shutdown, and then I open it up for you guys to get into the chat, one thing that I want you guys to do, I want to encourage you guys. Teach your girl how to fish. Christina, thank you. I'm going to be reading that super chat shortly. Teach your girl how to fish. Now, I know that this flies in the face of conventional wisdom because the only conversations that y'all have across the internet is what you don't like about somebody or how it is that you feel about somebody. But what we don't do is we're not solutions based. So one thing that I promised you guys on Wednesday night, and I said, yo, I'm dedicated to the improvement of families, the community, and I need to start with my guys. So while I am still going to remain an equal accountability smoke giver, the one thing that I will do also is give you the insight on how it is that you can be more successful with regard to how it is that you're trying to build this legacy of yours, right? Let me give you an example. I don't just want to talk to you. I actually want to have a conversation with you because contrary to what it is that you guys see from other people, I actually live it. I am successfully married, been successfully married for the past 20 years, 19 and a half actually, but we just going to go ahead and round up and we're going to say 20, right? And what you're seeing right here.
Yeah, and then suddenly that one burnt. And I don't know if that was, they were trying to get him to.
What you're seeing right here is Rita is on site, and she sent this to me actually the day before yesterday. So today they actually continuing, and so what we're doing is we're building houses, right? And as we build houses, this is actually the location of the first house that I decided to build, and we've already started to break ground on the second house, right? And these are all of the guys that we got working for us, and these are the contractors, and we're actually doing it cash. So we do no financing. We don't go through any bank. We don't do any paper pushing. We're not looking for any approvals as far as from the bank in order to get the contractors paid. Everything that you see happening right here, everything that you see playing out right now, all of those trenches that's being dug, tapping into the sewer and the water lines, right? Getting approvals, all of the stuff that we go on. This is the stuff that we talk about inside of the Patreon a lot, right? So in addition to, let me just pause that real quick. In addition to, especially for all of the people that just say these people are just YouTubers, no, we really do stuff in real life. So in addition to, actually, I don't want to put it on that scene. I want to put it on that. So in addition to all of the entertainment and stuff that you guys see within the Patreon as far as the uncensored videos and stuff like that, what we also do is we have a lot of conversations, and I use my own life experiences. And this is one of the reasons why I'm building it. I'm not just building it for me, but I'm building it so that I can then take the information and the insight and the gains that I learned, and then I'm starting to give them over into the bag chasers. But I was having a conversation with Rita this morning, right? And she was on her way to her doctor's appointment, and she about to go and, you know what I'm saying, get whatever done or whatever, so on and so forth. You know, regular checkup, those good healthcare coverage benefits. And I stopped her, and I said, do you realize what's happening right now? Do you realize what's happening right now? And she said, what? Now, for the bag chasers, a lot of y'all not even familiar with this looked like in the very beginning. Let me show you what it looked like. Maybe I can get it over to you really quickly. I said, you don't realize what's happening right now? And she said, what? What's happening? And this was right before, literally right before she was walking out the house. And I said, I'm teaching you how to fish. And she said, what? I said, I'm teaching you how to fish. And she said, well, what do you mean by that? And I sat her down. She was a little early for her doctor's appointment. But I sat her down and I said, listen, don't you realize that I'm forcing you, because she's the one that's taking these pictures. She's the one that's working with the contractors. For the people that's in the Patreon, she's the one that's doing all of the permit pulling. She's been running back and forth with the permit office. She's done everything. All of this stuff is her, through me to her. And so I said, listen, it's not about just giving you enough money if anything was to ever happen to me to where you can survive for the rest of your life. It's about teaching you and teaching my daughter, and I'm actually forcing my daughter to participate in this also. I said it's about teaching you and to teach my daughter how to duplicate the process and to actually learn what is going on so that you can be able to do it yourself, regardless of whether or not I'm here or not. The value that she brings is not based off of whether or not she can do it. It's based off of her willingness to learn. It's based off of her submissiveness, and then she becomes the beneficiary of stuff that people would pay a lifetime. They would literally pay. They pay and don't even get even remotely half the knowledge that you get in real life through really going through it in real life. They don't really get it. They don't get this level of insight. They don't get this amount of information. They don't get to participate in the process. They don't get to see what it's like to build something from scratch. Not only, you know what I'm saying, not having to use your own dime, but how do you get the financing? And I told her, I said, listen, even though we doing it cash, I also want you to understand how to do it from another perspective and getting involved from the financial aspect of things, because then that will give you even more insight and more resources on how to be successful. This is what I'm trying to tell you, right? As we walk through this, and as I give this information over into the bag chasers and the Patreon members, what I'm saying is I'm giving you two lessons here, twofold. See, it's easy for all of these little people on the internet, these peace and Pan-Africanism people, right? It's easy for them to just say something to you to tell you that you're still under duress. But see, when I tell women, and I tell them and I hold them accountable and I say, hey, listen, you need to get under the man that is going to give you the vision. The guy that you passed up on was the guy that you should have married. Go back, get back with your baby father. When you pour into a guy, when you give him your all, you then become the beneficiary of his greatness. This is what I'm showing you. Your legacy as a woman, let's not even talk about as a family, as an individual. Your legacy as a woman is largely going to be defined by how it is that you're submissive and whether or not you're willing to learn. See, she didn't know that I was Misty Miyagi in her. All she knew was that I was giving her instructions on what to do on a day-to-day basis in order to ensure that this project continued to go forward. And so what happens as a result of it is then you then get the lessons and you get 10 times more of the information that you can then use to continue to A, either pour into the family, or B, is just a residual that comes along with being a part of what it is that I have going on. So when you get with a great man, ladies, is what I'm telling you, it's not just based off of his net worth. Stop trying to get with men based off of how much you can get from him and start getting with men based off of how much that he can teach you, how much that you can grow under his tutelage. What kind of vision can he give you? Stop being so talkative. Stop thinking that you know everything when you don't know nothing. The quieter you are, the more that you learn, because you have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. See, I'm not going to tell you to pour into me. I'm going to tell you to do the thing that's in your best interest, which is basically getting up under me, right? Every single woman that is up under me, every single one that, including my daughter, not just the ones that work for me, including my daughter. She's literally on a daily basis seeming like she come up with a new idea, a different business idea. Now I'm teaching her, hey, this is how you refine this. Try this out. Put this type of money behind it. I already know that she don't lose the money when she put it behind her, but I want her to learn a lesson. I want her to fail in a controlled environment so that she had these business lessons as she get older, right? My point is this. Very few people can teach you what it's like to be successfully married. Very few people can also add the business acumen under it. Go through the lessons, do it the right way, stop projecting based off of what you think somebody has instead of projecting based off of what the potential can be, and then pour into them understanding that it's a process. Everything is a process. Everything is an endurance race, but then teach a woman how to fish. And this part is for my fellas. Teach her how to fish, so that she can bring in more resources, so that she don't necessarily have to work that particular job, and she can spend all of her time pouring into what it is that you have for her, and you can give her a position into your company or help her build her own company that then pours into whatever it is vision that you have. And you got to have a vision. You have to have something that you're starting at the end of and then reverse engineering it in order to make sure that you add value into that person long term, right? You can't just be working because you're going to be on a hamster wheel. Make the sacrifice. Forget going out to dinner. Make sure that y'all stay in and eat. Have a Netflix night. Go and watch the movies. Go and watch something on TV, right? Stack your money. Work together. Put it together. Start to build something, right? Then that has character development because you're not just distracted by all of the things that's going on in society. You also figuring out who each other is by working together, struggling together, going through things, building up, right? Problem solving. That's the more meaningful thing when it comes to being in a relationship. Have you ever problem solved outside of anything other than what it is that you felt? Have you ever problem solved outside of anything other than what goes on in the bedroom? Have you ever problem solved outside of how you felt? What about solving for a problem in a business? Because that's where the true test comes in. The relationship part is easy. The sex part is easy. The conversations is easy. The game is easy. But do you know how to teach her how to problem solve when it comes to communicating more effectively? Can she take those same learned principles that she used at for her boss at her job and then apply it into what it is that y'all got going on? Are you telling her to learn every single thing that she has at her job, right? Not necessarily because the job is meaningful or not necessarily because she needs to be pouring into the job, but because she needs to be taking those same applied lessons. If you are in information technology, you understand agile methodology instead of waterfall, right? You understand project management. You understand how to be a scrum master. Whatever it is that she does professionally, she should be taking those same skill sets and figuring it out how she can apply it more fervently in what it is that y'all got going on at home. If she's getting a certification, if she's getting a PMP, right? If she's some kind of nurse, if she's some kind of professional in any way, shape, or form, and you're not drawing from that and then teaching her how to apply that into her own life instead of becoming interdependent on some kind of contract or some kind of professional environment, if she's just seeking for a job, but you're not showing her how to refine it, that's the true vision of what it takes in order to be successful in a relationship, because it's 95% of what happens when you're not around and 5% of what happens when y'all get into that bedroom together, because you're only spending a minimal amount of time inside of that bedroom. And so what I'm telling you is that it all comes back down to the money. It all comes back down to what success looks like based off of how you're working on a daily basis, not just when y'all come together. If the only thing she has to say to you is, when are you coming home at night, or where you been at, or when can we go out, or when we gonna go shopping, or can we have sex, then you are doing yourself a disservice by aligning yourself with a woman that is not trying to get up under your vision. And maybe you just haven't given her a vision, right? But my point is this. Being successfully married is more blissful when you understand all of the other attributes that come along with being in a relationship. And this is the things that these peace and Pan-Africanism niggas can't teach you. They can't teach you that because they ain't never held down a relationship and understand how to move from a business perspective. They ain't never worked in a corporate environment and understood how to be a great leader by being a good follower first and then imparting that into your own family. They kids don't respect them because they ain't even in the same household as their kids. They don't travel with their kids. See, when I go outside of the country, my daughter go with me. I am the man that I would want my daughter to marry. They can't talk to you about what it is to be great because they just focused on going outside of the country. They don't understand cultural values and norms. They don't have anything that they can pass down into somebody else because they don't know nothing. And so when you see these people talking about that they want to debate, they can't even debate themselves out of a brown paper bag. They don't even know how to think clearly. That's why they keep talking about pussy when they supposed to be talking about community building. What makes you think that these people can stand in front of somebody like me? I will destroy you in every way, shape, and form. You cannot stand in front of me to save your life. I will shut down everything that you ever stood for, and that's one of the reasons why you scared to face me. Can't nobody stand in front of me. And you know why they can't stand in front of me? Because my purpose is defined. My purpose is divine and defined. Nobody can stand in front of me. Nobody. I don't care how many degrees you fucking got. I don't care how many schools you fucking failed to build. I don't care where it is that you stood. I don't care how many baby mamas you got. Nobody can stand in front of me. You know why? Because I lived this shit. I built it. I failed it. I grew from it. I'm from the mud. I got it out of here. I don't owe no student loans. I don't owe nobody nothing. There can't nobody in this world ever say that I ever took something from them. All I do is pour into people. It's different over here. We don't break up. We don't get divorces. We don't make baby mamas. We don't break up our families and then talk about how it is that we need to build a community. Fuck your community. Your shit is flawed. We've been trying to do that shit for the last 50, 60 years. It don't work. What makes you think that these people can stand in front of me? Can't stand in front of a monster. Give a fuck how tall you are. How many people you employ, nigga? How much money you putting in people's pockets instead of taking from them? It's all fear tactics. Fastest way to take money out of the black community's mouth is to keep them subdued instead of empowering them. Teach your girl how to fish instead of asking for $500 to have dinner with her. Nigga. Moving on. Let me read some of these super chats. I ain't even planning to have that conversation. But I'm tired of y'all getting finessed. Shout out to Christina. Said, hey, Anton, I appreciate the content. See, I got to calm myself down. Hold on. I want to give you the proper treatment on your super chats. All right, I'm back. Man, don't ever tell me that these people can stand in front of me. Don't ever bring these people, they little videos up to me. The videos is just the communication of what we do in our real life. We show our shit. We show our W-2s. We show our bank accounts. We show our relationships. You know who my wife is in real life. When we meet up with y'all, you don't just see me. You see me and her together. Some of y'all met my daughter in real life. You see my mother in real life. These people is crazy, man. Make me decapitate a gorilla if you want to. Talk that shit, I live it. Christina, thank you, my love. Shout out to you. Say, hey, Anton, appreciate the content. I appreciate you too. Greatness to Work is in the building. Says Powernomics by Claude Anderson. That is a good one. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for recommendations. Cassandra says, I would love to have a coaching call with Rita. Yeah, hit her up. Send me an email. Send AntonDaniels413@gmail.com, and then we'll cook up. Absolutely. She know a lot. I've taught her a lot. Justin is in the building, says, my man is dropping gems. I find the houses. My wife writes the contract and gets the commission. I flip it, and she lists them, teaching her the game. And I know Justin and his wife in real life, and so I know he's telling the truth. That's 100% facts. That's 100% facts in real life. Alvin S. is in the building, says, Anton, you preaching real good. Shout out to Alvin S. I appreciate you, big dog. Easy Money says, I love your passion, Anton. Man, I talk this in real life. I really live this in real life. Shout out to my people, man. Shout out to my people. If you want to link up with me in real life, make sure you tap into the Patreon. I'm coming to your city, DC, November 4th. Pull up on me. You know what I'm saying? This is Detroit in real life. This is Detroit in real life. Sit here and talk to me about no dudes that's wearing no dashikis in front of me. Give a fuck about your dashiki, boy. Let's move over into the next part of the show. I'm almost inclined to just drop the link in the chat for y'all to come up right now. But we got to get to the money. All right, so more people that are failing on the government front. The government itself. Shout out to Congress. Shout out to all of your legislative branches that are not doing the thing that's in your best interest. Shout out to all of the legislative branches. And I ain't just talking about Congress. I ain't just talking about the president. I ain't just talking about the Senate. I ain't just talking about the House of Representatives, the governors, the mayors, the city council, the treasurers, everybody that's involved in the government process. I think that Brandon Johnson could quite be the worst mayor in the entire United States of America. I think that Brandon Johnson, let me say it again for the people in the back, mayor of Chicago, could quite possibly be the worst mayor in the United States of America, bar none, bar no city. Real talk. Listen, if you disagree with me, I'm going to drop the link in the chat, but let's get into it. So the government is about to shut down. You cannot have a more irresponsible group of people than elected officials who regularly, all the way up until the deadline, is fumbling the bag and is playing with people's lives and the credit rating of the United States of America. Did you know that the United States of America got a credit rating just like you do? I bet you didn't know that. I bet you didn't know that the United States of America's ability to be able to pay back money is the same as yours. That we have a credit rating. AAA, it was recently downgraded. I bet you didn't know that either. Just like you. You know how you used to have that 800 credit score? Now it's at 649. It's the same thing with the United States government. You just a reflection of it. That's why you vote the way that you do. It's the same thing. Now it's AA plus. Reading super chat shortly. Oh, let me turn this up.
Total disaster for the American people.
Members of Congress frustrated they've yet to reach a deal to keep the government open, leaving federal employees, members of the military, and frontline service workers across America wondering when they leave work today if they will return on Monday. It wasn't supposed to be this way.
Well, I'm glad the speaker's here today.
In June, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy and President Biden struck a bipartisan deal, agreeing on some spending limits to avoid America defaulting on these debts, aiming to make this process easier now. Congress began meeting this summer with the goal of passing 12 bills to fund the government long term. The Senate even moved the bills forward. But then the House and Senate left for the August break with no significant progress.
How do you take a break? You know the one thing that I realize as a business owner is that it's much different than corporate America. The biggest difference between being an actual business owner and being in corporate America is that there are no breaks. There are no vacations. You eat what you kill. If you do not show up in the morning, then people just lose out on whatever it is that you have for them. And that goes for any business. It doesn't matter if you're in a restaurant business and you're in the service industry. I was asking Rita because yesterday it rained pretty hard in Metro Detroit, right? And the contractors that I showed y'all that video with previously in the last segment of the show, they were digging in order to be able to tap into the sewer lines and tap into the water lines and to make sure that they prepared it so that the wall guys can come in and they can start pouring the concrete so they can start putting together the basement or whatever, right? And the contractors, they were pissed because Rita said, oh man, they gonna delay because the inspectors were supposed to come out yesterday in the morning. They came out in the afternoon after it rained, and then they denied it, and so whatever, so on and so forth, right? And I'm like, oh, that sounds like a personal problem. Because, see, I'm not up against the timeline. I don't borrow money. And because I'm putting my own money up, I don't have to worry about the interest that come along with holding on to a hard money loan or anything that you're using in order to continue to build a house, right? And so the guy that was building it was absolutely pissed. And he was pissed because the city was slowing him down in the permitting process because he should have been there in the morning instead of the afternoon, and he wouldn't have seen all of the mud or the dirt continue to cover over because he got equipment out there that he probably rented and everything, and it's costing him money. It's not costing me money. The price that I'm going to pay is the price that I'm going to pay. Whatever it is that you quoted me, you should have baked it into the price, considering something bad could have happened. Anyways, instead of them waiting, right, they decided to take over and take some pictures this morning. And they brought the inspector back out. They took the pictures and then they brought the inspector out really quickly because they got a relationship with him in order to get back on their timeline. My point is this. As a business owner, you don't have time to waste because time is money. But these legislators don't care nothing about you because they going to get paid regardless. They all rich already. And they rich off the backs of the taxpayers. And they got a guaranteed salary and a guaranteed budget, and they're going to be okay no matter what. And so they could sit there and play games with whatever it is, the same way that workers don't understand how to look at it from a shareholder perspective, right? Shareholders understand that my fortunes is tied to the success of the company. So I want what's in the best interest of the company. I'll pay whatever it is to get the consulting. I'll pay the CEO whatever it is. I'll tie the CEO's compensation over into the company's performance because then I know that if they do good, we do good. We don't care how much money they make as long as they're making us money on top of it because time is money, productivity, success. All of those things matter. But when you have somebody that has a worker's mindset or a politician's mindset or a public servant's mindset, they don't care. That's why I say that Brandon Johnson in Chicago is one of the worst mayors in America right now because he's willing to sacrifice the budget, taxpayer dollars, projected to have over a $600 million shortfall just in his first term, his first fiscal year. running it up. They asked them, hey, listen, is Chicago still going to be remaining a sanctuary city for migrants, even though you guys don't even have no money? You broke over there. You can't even help your own residents. Infrastructure problems, crime, can't get no more police, understaffed, problems all across the board, people getting their head bashed in over there. He said, yeah, well, I'm doubling down. I'm 10 toes down because our responsibility based off of how we feel from a morals and an ethics perspective is more meaningful than all of this money that we got to spend. That's not even mine. See, it's easy to do when you're spending somebody else's money. That's why I always say, mind your business. That's one of the first things that I learned when I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He said, mind your business, meaning that if it was your money, you would do it differently. See, you wouldn't go broke, but you willing to let everybody else suffer. They willing to let the government shut down military members, right? People in the government, TSA, essential services. All of these people are going to get furloughed or they're going to get laid off. Contractors, that's not necessarily working for the government, but that their fortunes are tied to the government in order to offer an essential service. Cybersecurity professionals, local governments that's dependent on this stuff. Payments that New York want for these migrants that they want to come over there. Meanwhile, Biden and them, they're still going to be flying through the air. Air Force One, and they're going to be pointing the finger. It's the Republicans' fault. It's the Democrats' fault.
In September, when the two sides returned, conservative House Republicans signaled they wanted spending limits lower than the original agreement, leading to this standoff.
This is a 2-minute vote.
House Republicans, deeply divided, passing some bills overnight, but those won't stop a shutdown. And the Senate is working on a short-term plan to extend the talks. McCarthy optimistic, but unable to make any promises.
One thing, if I hope you realize about me, is I never give up.
Other casualties of the shutdown, national parks across the country will be closed, as will passport renewal offices. 7 million people who rely on the nutrition program WIC would see their aid delayed. Food assistance and veterans benefits will all be impacted.
Both sides have got a lot of problems, and they need, I don't know if we need to start over, throw them all out and start over.
And on Capitol Hill, the blame game is well underway.
Speaker McCarthy is letting a small band of very extreme members override the views of everyone else.
Well, I think it's bad policy and it's bad politics.
And the Senate is still working on its version of a short-term spending bill. And on the side, a group of senators are working to find common ground on provisions that would help with the crisis at the border. And
why is everything short-term? How can we keep getting these Band-Aids on top of what is supposed to be happening across the board? Everything is a delay. Everything is a short-term. Everything is a kick the can down the road. If you guys are not familiar with your legislative branches and who's in government that you are then going to have to vote for during the next election cycle, the off-season election cycle, and then the national election, then you are absolutely, positively not even on the right side of the fence. You don't even understand what's going to happen to you. If you guys are not really paying attention and taking inventory of what the heck is happening and not trying to get these people up out of office, first of all, a lot of them is too old. Second of all, a lot of them is willing to hold the government hostage and not actually get a deal done. Third, they're going to overspend. Fourth, you already know that they're incompetent. And then fifth, you vote on them based off of what they look like instead of whether or not they're actually competent enough to look at it from a business perspective. You're going to have some people that's making some hard sacrifices in order to solve for these issues. And then they all corrupt, in my opinion, as far as being sold off for lobbyists and stuff like that. But let me add a little bit more context to help you to understand what happens when the government shutdowns and how you'll be affected.
Deep frustration in Washington, I would say also with Washington, for a lot of people over the lack of progress in avoiding a government shutdown. The deadline for a deal, midnight tomorrow, and a handful of House Republicans still blocking a potential agreement. It's a looming financial crisis that did not stop Republicans from holding their first hearing of the House impeachment inquiry into unfounded allegations against President Joe Biden.
Now listen, I'm not a fan of Joe Biden at all. But let me help you to understand something. When the money is starting to get messed up, we don't care about no impeachment inquiry because we already know even if you do an impeachment inquiry, he's not going nowhere. What a game of charades. And see, this is why I have to be impartial. And you got to have the same smoke both sides and look at it objectively. What are Republicans having an impeachment inquiry for when we supposed to be trying to figure out how it is that we can keep the government open and keep people from losing pay and actually solve for the real problems that we see happening across the board? An impeachment inquiry? Really? Come on, man. What we talking about? What we talking about? An impeachment inquiry, but we got the government literally shutting down, and they were supposed to be negotiating this since before the summertime. Before the summer. Real talk.
Scott McFarland is on Capitol Hill with us following the latest shutdown negotiations. Scott, are they going to get it done? Good morning.
They were here late into the night last night, Tony, passing spending bills, but none that would avert this government shutdown.
You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of cramming. You know how when you used to didn't do your homework in high school and college, and you was out there partying and having a good time and going on vacation and busting down them chicks and all of that, and then all of a sudden, time was running out, and you said, you know what, I'm a cram. And you knew when you woke up in the morning that you had no chance whatsoever of passing that test, and you didn't even understand none of the formulas that came along with it. And so you decided to cheat. You think you're going to get a cheat sheet on this? Ain't no cheat sheet.
The only way to keep the lights on is maybe a short-term deal, as brief as a week. But even that's proving to be a tough sell. With the government shutdown looming, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy is still trying to unite his party behind a bill that will keep things running.
We got to handle this problem, and you've got to handle it in a bipartisan way.
A closure would furlough tens of thousands of federal workers, and it would force as many as 1.3 million members of the military to work without paychecks.
Can you imagine the people that are securing the borders in this country and fighting the wars, sometimes unjustly, in my opinion, that put their life on the line? And military members, in a large sense, unless you have a lot of tenure in the military, they don't even really make a lot of money. Can you imagine being overseas or somewhere and not actually getting a paycheck, and your family back home is dependent on that money? It's crazy. It's crazy.
Times are hard as it is, and a paycheck being missed is a big problem. We're normal people who really, really need paid, and it's not fair.
Alice Silver is the wife of a Coast Guard petty officer and mother of two in Fort Belvoir, Virginia.
Kev, what makes you think that I'm naive and I don't know what the heck is going on? It doesn't change the idea that it's still irresponsible. Some of y'all are just agents of chaos, and y'all just say anything, bro.
I'm gonna be able to pay bills that are ready to be paid. Not affording groceries for my kids. It's not fair to them. It's not fair to these children.
Senators have cut a bipartisan deal to keep the doors open for another 45 days.
We need to keep the government running.
But how?
I'm sick of these people, honestly. Elizabeth Warren, all of them. I think they all just need to get out of there. Honestly. I think that it's all a sham. It's all stupid. It's all silly. It disgusts me. I don't like it. I'm just not happy. I just think you need to just reform everything. Everything needs to be reformed, but it won't happen before you have revolt. Let me read a couple of super chats, and then we're going to continue on with the show. I got one more thing, and then I'm going to drop it open for you guys to be able to cam up and say whatever it is that you want to say. Shout out to Jamal Fowler, says, Pastor offering on a Friday. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. You are very, very much appreciated for dropping that off in the collection plate, my friend. My dog, the Carolina's own DJ K Smooth in the building. Shout out to DJ K Smooth. Said, pop that brother Anton. Muffs can't stand against that truth you drop. And salute to them jewels being dropped. Shout out to my dog, DJ K Smooth in the building. I appreciate you. Executive Suite MLE is in the building. Shout out to my dog. Says, okay, Time Pock. Yo, fo, make all those kids don't grow. I ain't even gonna say it. Take money. You know, first up, in the click you claim, West Side, when we ride, come equipped with game. You claim to be a player, but up with your wife. I ain't even gonna go there. See, you ain't think I know. I'm a pop culture icon. I know everything that's going on in these streets. You know what I'm saying? Keep your foot on these ninjas' necks. Got me hyped this morning. Great message. Hype. Shout out to my dog. Aaron says, You following the Bob Menendez case? I'm not. Keep me up to date. I'm depending on y'all to keep me up to date, Aaron. Dewan Alford says, what up, though, Anton? Yeah, you definitely West Side. 8 Mile. Between 8 and 7. Between Livernois and Wyoming. Bobian. Norfolk. Chippewa. What up, though? What up to all of my Sconies out there? I appreciate y'all for continuing to rock with me. Greatness to Work says, even when I didn't agree with you, I always stood with you because I love your stand on family. That's how we win more families, not baby mamas and daddies. Shout out to y'all. Aaron says, cheat sheets don't work. I always gave open book tests when I was teaching it, sometimes unlimited time. If you don't understand, then you don't understand. That is true. I'd rather you understand than test you. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather you understand than test you. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to y'all. You claim to be a player, but up with your wife, we bat boys, nigga, for life. Oh my God. What up? What up? What up? Yeah. All right, so let's continue to run it up. I got one more thing that I want to share with you guys. I try to minimize the amount of time that I talk about this in particular because I want to see some progress. I want to see something actually happen. But I think that Shawn Fain might be a terrorist, bro. Either he a terrorist or he a hero. I don't know what to believe anymore. Because I believe that he believes so much in his cause that he's willing to do whatever it is in order to win. It is hard to negotiate against a person like that. It's very, very, very difficult to negotiate with a person like that. So, what I decided to do is he actually had an announcement this morning. He did a live stream this morning. Shawn Fain from the UAW. Trump went over there and he talked to the auto suppliers. And Trump's message here. I'll share with you Trump's message really quickly. Give me a second. Before we get over to that, I want to share with you what Trump's message was, right? This is what he said to the people.
Fox 2's Dave Kinchin had a front row seat. Dave.
Yeah, you can tell the crew is breaking down here at Drake Enterprises moments after former President Trump left the building here, speaking to a crowd of at least several hundred inside and many outside. Here's what we know. This had the backdrop, of course, of tense talks between the UAW and the Detroit Three, and former President Trump used that backdrop to talk about his experience when in his record as president when it came to what he said was saving manufacturing jobs. He says that President Biden, who was just here yesterday, of course, rallying with UAW members, he said that Biden's plan for the economy and for the auto industry would actually strengthen China rather than the American auto worker and worker in general. Here's more about what former President Trump had to say and what people who opposed his appearance said as well.
And the workers of America are getting, to put it very nicely, screwed. You're getting screwed. Yesterday, Joe Biden came to Michigan to pose for photos at the picket line.
And I agree with him. It was nothing but a ploy. And they all going to say, well, yeah, Joe Biden came out here and he got his bullhorn and he stood with the people when he had a conversation. No, Joe Biden was basically doing that for votes. Have y'all noticed that none of these politicians actually show up to any of y'all cities until election season starts to hitting? When they want y'all endorsement, then they're going to start looking for votes and looking for a large endorsement from the UAW. Well, I was out there with you guys. He's absolutely correct. That's one of the reasons why I actually rock with Trump in a lot of instances, because he just tell it like it is. He's like, yo, he came out here for a photo op. He wasn't really looking to kick it with y'all. What you think he was doing? He wasn't really trying to rock with you. What you think, he on your side? He on my side.
But it's his policies that send Michigan auto workers to the unemployment line. He only came after I announced that I would be here. You know, he announced quite a bit later. Spoke for a few seconds. Did you notice he spoke for what, a few seconds? And he had absolutely no idea what he was saying. He didn't know where he was. He didn't know where he was. He didn't know what we were saying. Where am I? He's saying, where am I? Oh, you're in Michigan. Oh, that's great. What are
Oh, will admit, Trump is very entertaining, A. And then B, Biden, to a larger extent, just looks like a corpse out there. I mean, he looks like he has no clue what is going on, that he does not know his right from his left, and he got to have his cue cards on with him. That's the honest to God truth. But let's continue.
They do in Michigan. They grow weed in Michigan, he said. Why is it that these big, powerful car companies with guys that are making $35 million a year immediately quit? They say, you want electric vehicles, we'll give it to you, when the damn things don't go far enough and they're too expensive. And I'm not in that business, but I know a lot about it. They don't go far enough.
We're here to say hell no to Donald Trump. He needs to not be in here. People should come out to stop him from his bigoted attacks on the people of Michigan. We need Michigan to stand together for immigrant rights, for union rights, and against Donald Trump.
He's here to try to strike some points and win some votes, which I don't think he's going to do because he's here at a non-union shop, so he's showing who he really is. He is anti-worker. He is a pro-fascist, racist criminal that needs to be in jail for trying to stage a coup.
So, Trump and Biden was in Michigan, putting that at the forefront of what it is that they felt like was necessary. But Shawn Fain gave everybody an update on what's going on with the UAW. So I think that it's important for us to hear what it is that he had to say. And he did a live stream this morning, so let's go ahead and check that out. I want to show you exactly what was communicated.
Good morning, UAW family. I apologize for being late, but mere moments before our Facebook Live this morning, we received a flurry of interest from the companies in addressing some significant bargaining issues. As you know, this morning we will be announcing the next targets for our stand-up strike as we fight for a historic victory at the Big Three. But first, as always, I want to take a moment to honor our members who are already on strike. Together, we're putting the fight back in the UAW and in the entire labor movement. A union that's not prepared to strike to win is like a fighter with one hand tied behind his back. Without the strike weapon, the war on workers is a rigged fight. For decades, it's been the same story. Unchecked corporate power, disappearing worker power. The result is massive inequality across our society. To restore the balance of power, we have to restore the strike. That's what every one of our striking members is doing. Our local 2326 strikers at West Rock Packaging in Dayton, New Jersey, are standing strong for the affordable health care that every person should have a right to. Our local 644 members at Dometic outside Philadelphia are standing up to a global corporation that makes billions in profits but won't pay every worker a living wage. Our strikers at Thombert in Newton, Iowa at Local 997 are fighting for work-life balance that every worker deserves. Here in Michigan, our members at Blue Cross Blue Shield are striking to stop the outsourcing that puts CEO pay before patient care.
I'm about to drop the link in the chat for you guys to be able to cam up. If you have a disagreement with me, you do not have to be on camera. But if you disagree with anything that I stand for, anything I've said on this show, anything that's said this week, anything that I said before, feel free to come up here and hold me accountable. Again, you do not have to get on camera.
Let's remember that our movement is fighting everywhere, not just in Michigan, but from east to west and from north to south. Our members at ZF in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, make axles for Mercedes when they're on the job. Today, they're on strike. They're teaching Mercedes the same lesson we're teaching the Big Three. Not a single wheel will turn without us. And that's what's happening across the vehicle supply chain. Members of UAW Local 259 at an Infiniti dealership in Long Island, New York, faced down the boss and won a new agreement. They called a strike in the morning, and by the afternoon, management caved. Now they have a new agreement with serious gains and no concessions. Our members at Mack Truck may also be hitting the picket lines when their agreement expires at midnight on Sunday. Sadly, Mack Truck is following the same tired playbook as so many of our other employers. They're dragging out bargaining till the very last minute. The company took 3 weeks to respond to our economic demands, and then they put a long list of concessions on the table. Our members at Mack voted by 98% to authorize a strike. So unless the company gets serious, they're about to learn firsthand that our union's back in a fight.
Yo, let me tell you something. I don't know if you just get rid of the whole thing and start all the way over. I don't know if it's a possibility. I don't know if the company is willing to go through that much pain. The only way that you can deal with something like this is to continue to is to break it, honestly. Because if they don't understand it from a business perspective, or if they're not actually willing to meet you in the middle and negotiate, if they don't understand the cost of transitioning over into electric and that they actually playing into the hands of somebody like a Tesla, if they don't understand the impact that's coming across the board as a result of that, you got to figure out how to break them. You got to figure out how to completely break them. That's my philosophy. I don't negotiate with terrorists at all. I figure out how I can destroy them. The only other way to do that, or the only other way to deal with it, is to give in to most of the concessions, wind up ratifying a contract, and then figure out how it is that you can outsource them and plan for the next one. Because there's no way that this is what they're asking for, a 32-hour work week, 36 to 40% pay raises, and then they comparing themselves against CEO pay and not actually comparing themselves against the cost of actually manufacturing the vehicles. This is what I believe is going to happen. I believe that the UAW, even though our federal government is incentivizing factories to be made back here in America, I believe that the UAW is really pricing themselves out of their future. You're going to continue to see a dwindling amount of UAW members. They're going to become less dependent on you. They're going to speed up development the same way that you see development happening in these fast food restaurants. You see more kiosks. You see more robots. They literally have restaurants where you don't even need a person over in Japan at all in order to continue to service people, right? I think what happens is they make short-term growth for future concessions and less jobs. You'll have more people, or you'll have less people making more money temporarily until they eventually phase everybody out. And then everybody going to either have to get a degree, adjust themselves to what the new middle class is going to work for, or going to look like. And they all just going to be regular workers at a regular person, at a regular space. And they're going to have, everybody going to need multiple jobs in the future because nobody's going to have a job anymore. That's just the truth. Like, if you want to know the honest to God truth, that's just the truth. I dropped the link in the chat for y'all to be able to come up here if y'all want to. Let me continue.
And we're not backing down to anybody. And just down the road from Solidarity House, UAW members at Detroit's MGM Grand Detroit, Motor City Casino, and Hollywood at Greektown are taking a strike authorization vote as we speak.
All three Detroit casinos are all ready to strike. They've been telling me that for the last few months. They had already been planning a strike in the first place. So you're going to start seeing strikes over at the Detroit casinos. You're going to start seeing strikes over at across the United States as far as these rolled out strikes from Shawn Fain. But let me continue.
They're part of the Detroit Casino Council, a group of 5 unions working together for a fair contract. Following COVID, shutdowns throughout Detroit, casino workers faced all kinds of sacrifices. They sacrificed raises. They shouldered heavier workloads so the industry could recover. And now, workers are struggling to make ends meet, even as the industry generates all-time record-high gaming revenues. As you know, we have over 18,000 Big Three members on strike at 41 facilities in 21 states. That includes over 5,000 workers striking at parts distribution centers and CCAs at Stellantis and GM from California to Massachusetts. These facilities represent a key revenue stream for the Big Three, and for years have represented a lower paid tier of workers. And I want to take a moment to acknowledge something very disturbing we've seen on a few picket lines at parts depots. We've heard of multiple instances from California to Michigan to Massachusetts of violence against our picketers from people crossing our picket line.
And this is where they start to change the narrative, and this is why you need context. So what's happened is a lot of these different places like GM, what they'll do is they'll say, okay, well, since y'all want to go on strike, we're going to send in supervisors and we're going to do contract workers. So they'll bring in contractors to come in and do the same jobs. But what will happen is the UAW members or whoever it is that union is striking, they'll stand in front of the car, similar to these environmentalists that don't want you to drive down certain roads. And then they'll say, if you hit me, this is going to be violence against us or whatever, so on and so forth, right? They don't actually want the company to make adjustments and do whatever it is that they're going to do, because the company then can say, well, you're replaceable, so we'll just find somebody in order to keep the plant open. They just stand in front of the picket line. And so what he'll do is he'll say, well, these are people that are committing acts of violence against the UAW members or protesters, when in reality, these people is actually just trying to get into work to take advantage of the opportunity that's now presented to them.
We've had guns pulled on us, trucks and cars rammed through us, and violent threats hurled at us. And I want to be absolutely clear. We will not be intimidated into backing down by the companies or their scabs. Our cause is just. Striking for a better future to protect our communities and to defeat corporate greed is not just our right, it's our duty. And shame on anyone that would engage in this violence against our members. To the public, we invite you to stand with us on the picket line if you support our cause. As you know, in our union, we wear red on Wednesdays. This is a tradition begun by our union family in the CWA to honor a striking member who was killed on the picket line in 1989. In our own union, during our 2019 strike at General Motors, one of our union brothers was killed on the picket line. Company and scab violence is not new. Our union's been fighting it for nearly a century. We didn't back down then, and we won't back down now. And we know America has our back.
Go on TikTok and see what they define as scabs. You'll see some of the videos.
This week we were joined.
They be beating on these people's windows and all kind of junk, man. It's like, yo, so you gonna tear my car up because we got differences in opinion and I see you at your loss as an opportunity? You can't be beating on my windows and tearing my car up and beating my hood up.
On the picket line by none other than the President of the United States. It was a historic day. We picketed at GM's Willow Run facility where UAW members built the B-24 Liberator bombers during World War II. Our union was essential in building what was called the arsenal of democracy. Just like 80 years ago, today, our union is building a different arsenal of democracy. But this war isn't against some foreign country. The front lines are right here at home.
I'm going to start bringing y'all up shortly.
Working class versus corporate.
I'm going to start bringing y'all up shortly. I think he almost done with this speech. Marcus Hill, I'm about to bring you up.
Corporate greed. We are the new arsenal of democracy. The workers are the liberators, and our strike is the vehicle for liberation. I want to be clear about one thing about the president's historic visit. The most powerful man in the world showed up for one reason only. Because our solidarity is the most powerful force in the world. When we stand together, united in the cause of economic and social justice, there's nothing we can't do. With that said, let's talk about bargaining at the Big Three. UAW family, I'm going to be very direct with you. Over the last week, the vice presidents and your national negotiators in my office have been working night and day to bargain a record contract that reflects the record profits we have produced for the Big Three. Sadly, despite our willingness to bargain, Ford and GM have refused to make meaningful progress at the table. That's why at noon Eastern Time today, we will expand our strike to these two companies. To be clear, Negotiations haven't broke down. We're still talking with all three companies. And I'm still very hopeful that we can reach a deal that reflects the incredible sacrifices and contributions our members have made over the last decade. But I also know that what we win at the bargaining table depends on the power we build on the job. It's time to use that power. That's why I'm calling on an additional 7,000 members across Ford and GM to go on strike starting at noon Eastern today.
I've heard enough. I've heard enough. So how do you negotiate with a terrorist? You don't. You really don't. You either got to be strategic in how it is that you deal with them long term, or you just got to continue to do away with them altogether. And I'm not sure that they can afford to do away with them altogether. Let me go ahead and get some of y'all up. I'm going to read a couple of super chats, and then I'm going to get y'all up here to get y'all opinions. Jay Hunter Lee says, what's up, AD? Yeah, man, this is horrible. More focus on political wars than American people. Shout out to Jay Hunter Lee. I appreciate you, big dog. The Magnum Group is in the building. Shout out to the Magnum Group. Says, for those who don't know, coconut oil is antiviral. Mix with a few drops of tea oil and rub all over the skin if not allergic. Shout out to you. Thank you for the suggestion, my friend. Aaron says, some test questions, the answers don't exist yet. We want to know your thought process. You can get the right answer, but was your process logical? And that's more important than actually getting the answer right. And you're absolutely right. And that's what probably why you was a great teacher, Aaron. J Hub in the building. Shout out to J Hub says, they will be replaced by the people that are crossing the border. This would never work in Texas. Also says, you don't get paid for your past accomplishments. You get paid for your current and future potential. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. All right. Let me see if I can get y'all up. I'm going to continue to read Super Chats. I'm going to go to Marcus, and then I'm going to come to First Magnum. And I'm going to continue to read the Super Chats throughout the show. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Let me see. You want to be on camera, Marcus?
Yeah, that's fine.
You sure?
Yeah, why not?
All right. What do we have here?
Yeah, man. So that's my wife, Lindsay.
Other hand.
What up, Lindsay?
How are you?
Lindsay, I ain't never met you before.
Yeah, so last time we spoke, I was in a whole different space.
You were.
Yeah, that's why I've been trying to get a coaching call with you so I can catch up. But I figured I'd just hop on and say what's good.
What up, friend? How you been? What's been up with you? What's up with you and Lindsay?
A lot, bro. Last time we talked, remember I told you about my mom being sick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she had passed in January. So I had a
my
lot of stuff.
Condolences, my friend.
Thank you,
bro.
We got married in April. I had met Lindsay last August. So we got married in April.
What?
Yeah, man.
Wait. So you met Lindsay in August.
Uh-huh.
And y'all got married in April.
Yep.
What was the whole idea behind, okay, I already know what it is that I want. I know this is what it is, so on and so forth. What was the thought process?
Well, I mean,
hold on. Let me get a round of applause. All right, go ahead, give it to me.
So I mean, with what I was learning from you and Kevin Samuels, I had picked up a lot of things about like where I wanted to be in my life and what I wanted. And when I met Lindsay, I met her at my job, and once I felt like I had some type of like attraction to her, I told her what I wanted. So we started doing
Hold on, Lindsay. Hold on, Marcus.
We started doing
Lindsay. What's going on, Lindsay? Hold on, Marcus. What's up, Lindsay?
No, I agree with everything he's saying. It was very mutual. It seemed fast, I think, to everyone else, but from the get-go, we're talking about everything. Even when we did our premarital counseling, and she's like asking us, have you talked about this? Have you talked about that? And we're like, yeah, we talk about that every day. And she's like, oh, usually people wait until like 4 to 5 months to have those conversations. But I can speak for me. It definitely wasn't like, oh yeah, I know we're gonna, move forward and get engaged and get married and all that. But once we started having those conversations, it was like, hey, like, why not? Let's, see if this works. And now here we are, 7 months
Yeah, April.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
That's what's up. So, all right. Anything else you want to give me before I give y'all my thoughts?
Nah, I mean,
Why you
I would
putting
love
your
to
head down, Lindsay?
I mean, I would love to hear your thoughts. I mean,
I think that is beautiful. I think that you guys are in the honeymoon phase, and then you're gonna go through some storming, right? And then you're gonna go through some little bit of turbulence, and y'all gonna have some disagreements because y'all still learning each other, right? But the key to success, I'm gonna give you a couple different tips, just in general. The first thing is the key to success is never stop evolving, right? When y'all identify what y'all want y'all relationship to look like, don't do it based off of what y'all doing right now. Do it based off of where it is that y'all project yourself to be in the future. A lot of people get married, or a lot of people are in their relationships today or in their marriages today, and what they do is they say, who is she and who is he? And when they say that, they doing it based off of their current thoughts, where they are right now, 20, 30, 40, 50, or whatever. They're not looking at what it's going to be like 10, 15 years from now, and people continue to evolve. Every 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, you're not going to be the same person that you are today as you are, next year. And you're not supposed to be, right? But when you grow, you have to grow together. And the only way that you're going to do that, is by growing both individually and collectively. So don't be interdependent on the other one for your happiness. What happens is when the other one is short, you're supposed to be already happy so you can pick them up. Because if you interdependent on somebody else for your happiness, when they down, you just gonna be down. You're not gonna have no energy for them in order for them to continue to grow. You know what I'm saying? So the key is to always be pulling each other along, even if it seems painful at the time, because it allows for you to continue to grow together, because it gets better significantly as you continue to get older, right? That's A. The second thing that I would tell y'all is spend 98% of your time on the thing that y'all like about each other and 2% of the time on the things that y'all don't like about each other. The things that's difficult, or, oh man, I wish he was like this, I wish he was like that. Man, I'm not worried about that. I spend 98% of my time on the things that I care about. You think I care about the fact that, I don't know, she liked those sandals and I don't even like open-toe sandals? Like, that don't mean nothing to me, because most arguments are based off of something really small and stupid, and it explodes into something bigger, and it turns into something, you know what I'm saying, that's much more than it was supposed to be. So spend all of y'all time just having fun. Y'all gonna have a whole lot of time outside of the house. Oh, and one more thing. Please don't be up under each other 24 hours a day. You go out, get out the house and work. You go out and you go work or do whatever it is that y'all do. I don't know what y'all lifestyle is or what y'all got set up. A lot of people be working from home together. No, get away from each other sometimes. So y'all give each other some time to miss each other. And then you can start to appreciate the person and spend the majority of your time on the things that you like about them, instead of the things that y'all start getting tired, because then it starts to become redundant. And you don't appreciate each other as much about it. And you're not as productive if you're not operating separately. Give each other some space. Let them breathe. Don't be overly. I mean, in the beginning, y'all gonna be, honeymoon phase or whatever. But give each other some space and go out and do some stuff. He go out and be productive. You go out and be productive, and then y'all can start to figure it out as y'all go along. But I think that y'all gonna be great. Y'all gonna be great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
Absolutely. All right. Well, listen. Congratulations. I'm gonna reach out to you, Marcus. We're gonna kick it.
All right, cool, Anton.
Nice to
We'll
meet
see you
you,
in DC
Lindsay.
as well. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in
You
DC.
too,
Yep.
as well.
You gonna be there in DC, Lindsay?
Yes. Yes.
All right, I can't wait to meet you. You know Rita gonna be there, so we're gonna have a ball.
All right, cool. All right, Anton, later.
See you guys.
Peace.
Look at this, Anton from AntonDaniels.com. Seeing happy, healthy love connections from my bag chasers. Shout out to all of the bag chasers in the building. I appreciate y'all. If you guys want to be in the bag chasers, make sure you tap into the Patreon. The link is in the description. All right, so Magnum, I'm gonna come with you. Well, let me first do this. And then I'm going to come to Yasin right after that. Magnum, you want to, what's up, big dog?
It was good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you want to be on camera or no? It looked like you don't want to be on camera.
Oh, I'm good. That's cool either way.
All right, we
As
can
long
just
as you
kick it
can hear
like
me
this.
good.
What's up, big dog? How you feel?
Hey, I'm good, man. It's good talking to you. I just
What is
wanted
the
to get on
mask?
and
You got
give
the
some
Bane mask
ideas.
on. Here, I'm gonna bring you up on camera. All right.
Yeah.
What's the Bang mask? What is that? And you in the dark. Why you in the dark, man?
I was born in the dark,
Oh my
molded by
God.
it, shaped by it.
What's going on,
But
bro? How
anyway,
you feel?
I'm chilling, brother. Thank you for having me on. Magnum will be back shortly. Right now, you have the Black Bane in your presence, and I
Hmm.
just wanted to tell you that I really appreciate your content, and it inspired me to create a podcast and chase my own bag. So I
Okay.
really, really appreciate you for that.
Yeah, I'm
But
gonna just do it
personally,
like this because it's throwing me off. All right, so I'm gonna focus on the audio, and we're gonna roll out.
gotcha.
All right, so go ahead.
All right, so what I wanted to say is that last night I went out to a lounge in my area, and the women are quite afraid of the strong men. They would rather be with the weak men and the soft men. We go out and we approach the women and they seem strange. Like I have a YouTube, I go live.
Mm.
And even last night, we just went around and had tried to have conversations, and a lot of the women don't
Can you
seem to
breathe
be.
good? Can you breathe good?
Yeah, yeah, I'm good.
Y'all said I'm gonna come to you next. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, but I wanted your insight because I wanted to draw attention to my area of the city of the country. I'm in Louisiana,
Okay.
and on top of that, we were speaking about the young men. There's a variety of things that we could talk about, but I won't get too far into it. But as far as the young men, they need guidance. In the hood, the young men need strength. They need stronger men. But unfortunately, their parents and the environment that they dwell in, it doesn't allow them to be the best version of themselves. I speak to them very regularly. However,
Do you have to have that to breathe, or is that like a
yeah,
prop that you?
that's
Okay,
it's
there
a
we go.
prop. Yeah, what's good?
All right.
All right,
So now we can hear you clearly. All right, so we with you.
all right. My mic working good?
Yep.
All right, good to go. So basically, hey, everybody in the chat, how y'all doing? I'm Magnum. I just recently started my own podcast, and I've been a big supporter, huge follower of Anton Daniels, and really, I just like to come on, and I want to be a part of that panel because y'all be having some. Oh my
Talking about
God,
on Monday nights.
with you, Logic,
Mhm.
Q,
Did you
like
hit
y'all be
Q
going
up? Did you hit Q up?
Yeah, but it was so packed in the queue when they were having the auditions. Like I didn't even have time to get in there. So when I had the chance, and plus on top of that, I'm building things. I'm gradually getting my equipment and things together to make it a little bit more professional. But
Okay.
to focus on the point at hand, like the young men, like in order to really get to them, then this is something that's really I'm passionate about in order to get to them, like we got to get them out of the hood and away from their parents
Mm.
because like they can't. It's like quantity over quality. It's
Mm.
hard to like they can see me and they hear me tell them like, yo, bro, find something you love to do and then go on YouTube, go on something and just watch it, study it, learn it and learn how to make money from it because that's what I do. I learned how to make money from building electric bikes.
Mm.
So I ride around on electric bikes. I found it interesting, but as a child, I didn't have that
You ride around with the mask on with the
motivation.
electric bikes on?
Sometimes, yeah, in order to get my cardio in,
Oh, I
yes,
thought you was out there fighting
like
crime.
yeah, it's funny because people love to see me with the mask on and everything, but it's just for me to it's like a high altitude training so I can get my breath. I had a real bad accident last year, and I just recovered from it. I'm literally just coming out the cave like Batman after Bane broke his back. So that
Mm.
was kind of like the idea of me having that prop of being Bane and everything because it literally was me coming out of the dark and coming from a real bad broken situation and building myself back out of it.
Okay.
I'm literally out of the. I'm like right now reaching my hand out of that cave that Batman was in. So as far as the young men, like I was saying, I constantly speak to them about, yo, don't be like those dudes there. That's not what you want. And 10 years later, lo and behold, those young men that I was speaking to are now those men that I said don't be. So I can see it, and I warn them, and I try to give them the vision, like, yo, you see me out here, I'm doing my thing. I'm not rich. I'm not balling out of control. I'm trying to get where you at.
Me
But
neither. I'm not
like,
either. We
leaving.
all trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out too. Like I'm just following the blueprint that I see, the young men doing in front of me, the ones who are doing it right. So I'm telling them like, yo, don't go that way. And I see them going that way. And what is your, like, you got it out the mud. Like we both from the mud. So we both know what that means. So what do you say to those young men in order to give them that little extra push to see like, yo, you don't have to stay here?
I don't. I let them suffer. I think,
Oh,
yeah, I think that every person needs to suffer, especially men. And
yeah.
for a lot of them, it's too late. If you don't catch them at an earlier age, it's too late. They've already been indoctrinated and raised by and in an environment that is not conducive for them. And I don't feel like that's my responsibility. I think that if they ever get to the point to where they grow up and they failed enough and they get tired enough, then they'll be able to make the adjustment and then they'll find me out. I don't believe that God is to be forced on people, for example. And this is a mindset, a philosophy. I'm not saying me, God, specifically. I'm saying that the mindset of trying to catch people and tell them what it is that they're supposed to do. I think that God is to be revealed to people, not pushed on people. And so when you get to a point to where you want to seek out something differently, then you'll make the adjustment and then you'll be able to hear me. But until then, it'll seem like I'm chasing you. And I'm never going to catch you because I don't run that fast. I don't run that fast. What I want you to do is, as a young man, you're going to have to make the adjustment and life is going to have to kick your ass and you're going to have to suffer a little bit. And I don't know any great man that hasn't suffered in some capacity that would allow for them to be able to grow and become the man that they're supposed to be. So now I'm not of the ilk. And maybe it's a group of people that I think that can do that and will do that. And maybe that'll be the thing. But I found that the most effective method is to force people to suffer. And then, and only then can they then hear me. Other than that, you got to reach them at a much earlier age in which their mind is still being shaped. But by the time they be getting to high school and stuff like that, it's too late.
Gotcha. All right. So
But that
as
wasn't
far
the
as
answer
that,
that you was looking for, though.
no, it's not necessarily the answer I was looking for, but I want your perspective because I don't have all the answers, and I might be pushing too hard, because I felt like that sometimes. Like I felt like I know that you can't save everybody. Like I just had to get that into my head like a few years ago. You can't
Yeah, I
save
can't
everybody.
save anybody. They got to save themselves. That's my.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to save people. See. Listen,
Uh,
I don't believe in going out and preaching the gospel. I believe in your life being a reflection of what it is that you are, and then what you say is just a reinforcement of that. So if you can't see the God in me, there's no way that you're gonna then turn to God, because God is to be revealed. God is not to be forced on you. And so I believe that everybody has the option to be able to save themselves. That's what salvation is now. And so because of that, I'm going to show you who I am. You're going to see the difference between those that are successful and those that aren't. You should be able to see the God in me through the way that I live my life, not what it is that comes out of my mouth. And then when I speak, that's the reinforcing, and that's the lesson that comes behind it once you get curious enough to actually want to do something different with your life. But until then, you can't hear me, you can't see me. It's just going in one ear and out the other. And my communication to you is more visual than it is communicative, right? Because think about it. These rappers, these entertainers, these athletes, they don't know you. They don't know these people. They don't know these young people. But guess what they do? They're influential simply because of what it is that they're singing in their ear or the way that they live their life. And people don't believe them unless they got the jewelry and the trinkets and all of that stuff. See this shit right here? I don't even really be wearing my watches. These are milestone moments based off of certain things that I've accomplished in my life. But you know why I put it on? because it resonates with you motherfuckers. See, the thing that I wear all day is I be trying to get my fucking steps in, so I'll be wearing this shit, right? The thing that I drive every day is my Hyundai Tucson. But then when you see me in the street, you might see me pulling up in that 96 Impala, you might see me pull up in the Benz, you might see me pulling up in the Porsche. You know why? Because you visual. And so when you see success, then that makes you want to pay attention to me. When you start paying attention to me, then I'm going to tell you why it is that I'm driving a Hyundai Tucson. And so until people get curious enough to actually want to know what it is that you've done in order to become successful, whether or not you've become successful in your marriage, whether or not you've become successful in your finances, how you was able to do things spiritually, what makes you mentally stronger than everybody else, what gives you that fortitude to continue to endure when everybody else is failing, you're not going to hear that shit because the only thing that you're paying attention to is the things that you're most influenced by. So in order for me to even compete in your life, I have to be able to make an impression on you. When you suffer, you're going to seek me out because then you're going to realize that the way that you was doing it and the things that you was influenced by is not the thing that's going to resonate with you as far as that long-term success. So it's just it's a different approach that I take. I'm not telling nobody else that their approach is not effective, but I think that it's much more effective and it resonates with people a little bit differently.
Got you. I think I might have had an issue with my camera. I'm not sure. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you. But no, I gotta bring other people up. But I appreciate you for coming up.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate your time. Y'all have a good one. And if anyone would like to, please subscribe to my channel so I can build up my base and we can get some eyes on what's going on down here. Thank you, Anton.
Thank you, my friend. All right, Yasin, I'm coming to you. And then Jeremy, I'm coming to you right after that. All right, let me see. Yasin, you want to be on camera or?
That's fine. I don't have a problem being on camera.
You sure?
How you doing, Anton? I've been following you for. Yeah. I'm fine. That's fine.
So you do want to be on camera?
So, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm not camera shy.
All right, let's go. Let's what's up. What's the word?
How you doing today?
I'm chilling, my friend. How you feel?
I'm all right. I wanted to give you a perspective. I know a couple shows ago you said something about how the UAW operates with these negotiations and this and that. So I'm the president of a union. I was on strike for 9 months last year. So sat at the table with the company. So I do have a very detailed way on how the negotiations go. I understand your perspective on, people could be bargaining themselves out of jobs. However, at the same time, I think that it's just a matter of time anyway before those jobs are gone anyway. So, they made a lot of concessions, back in 2008, I think, or 2009. So, I think it's time to get some of that money back, so to speak. I don't believe in pocket watching other people's money and what they're getting and everything. But at the same time, I need to be able to provide for my family, if I'm dedicating my life, to that company. Now, as time has went on, we all know that, these jobs now, there is no, I would say there is no security, not like it used to be as far as with pensions and everything that form of life is gone at this point. So now it's kind of get what you can get while the getting's good type of thing. I will say that
Hopefully he comes back. Looked like his connection was kind of messed up. I'm gonna try to give him a second to come back.
Hello.
There you go. You back. You must have been getting a phone call.
Okay. All right.
You was getting a phone call?
Yeah. I was.
But go ahead.
So, some of the things that you talked about as far as with 401k and all of that and stock options and stuff, I did talk to the company about having that as a form of compensation, because I know that with stock owned against the stocks, right, and it won't be counted as income if you needed to. So I was looking at that as another form of payment in the negotiations, but the company wanted nothing to do with that. So some of the things I do agree with you on, as far as with the UAW and other things, I think that I think you just may not know exactly how things work, but
Who, me?
at the end of the day, I think that, yeah, as far as intricate details about how things work at the table with the companies, I just think that it's
What
not
don't you think I
necessarily,
know? What don't you think I'm familiar with? Educate me.
so
I'm the
so
student. You the teacher today.
number one. Oh boy. Okay.
No, I'm the student. You the teacher.
So
But
one of the
let me also add into this. I think that you're fundamentally wrong on
okay.
some things, but I'm gonna save that because I think that this is the more interesting part of the conversation. All right, so go ahead.
Yeah, so with negotiations, it's a lot of back and forth, and then it comes to a point where, okay, the deadline is here. It's a lot of scrambling going on, that last day before the actual agreement is over with. If they're really close, they may agree to extend it for a day to resolve all of the issues. If they can't come to that agreement,
He getting a lot of phone calls. I don't know what's going on out here in these streets. He got to tell his people, listen, silence his phone. I'm on the phone with Anton from AntonDaniels.com. We on the Millionaire Morning Show. We cooking up. Anton about to have this conversation with me. Come on, man. Y'all waited all week. Y'all waited all week to have this conversation. Y'all getting phone calls up in these streets and everything. What is happening? Oh, trying to give him an opportunity. Trying to give him an opportunity. All right, I'm going to pull him down and he could just. All right, you back? You got to put your phone on Do Not Disturb, man. You muted. You muted. You got to unmute yourself. You got to unmute yourself. Got to turn the mute. You muted. You got to unmute yourself. Got to unmute. Unmute. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. You got to unmute yourself. All righty. Well, Jeremy, I'm going to come to you. I'm going to ask you if you want to be on camera or not. You want to be on camera or what, Jeremy? Jeremy said, no camera, no go. All right, big dog, I got you. What's the word, Jeremy?
Hey, Anton. Thank you for taking my call. I really appreciate all you do, and I really appreciate the audience, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the DMV.
Absolutely, my friend. So what's the word? What's your thoughts?
So I wanted to talk to you about something you said a few weeks ago regarding with Patrick Bet-David and Logan Paul. And I think maybe you saw it in a different way. Like he was speaking from one perspective and you were speaking from another. I think you were speaking when you go ahead.
No, I'm listening to you.
Okay. He said, I think when you were speaking about him as like a man. A man can do what he wants. He can say no if he's, vetting a woman or whatever, and he finds some things that are egregious. He can say, no, I'm not, this isn't for me. This isn't what I knew. I'm not rocking with this. What I think Patrick Bet-David was looking at is him as a brand. And I think Logan Paul is a slave to his brand. And that
we all are.
If he, say again?
We all are.
Well, yeah, but maybe this is what's affecting him in a negative way. So
no.
Everything
Even
you advocate against,
even regular people, they're a slave to their brand. It's not just the people that's visible.
but
it's just that we're doing it on a much larger scale.
No. I missed what you said. Say that one more time.
It's not that we all not doing the same thing. It's just that we're doing it on a larger scale. Right? Think about it like this. How many people have had a conversation about whether or not they'll stay in a relationship based off of the fact that they don't want nobody else to know that they're getting divorced? Or they don't want nobody else to know about a situation that they're facing? Or they don't like the fact that their kid's going to be teased in school, or their mother's going to say something about them, or their father going to be disappointed in them. Or most of the decisions that people make, even if they outside of a relationship, is based off of the idea that they don't want. They use their life experiences and the people that surround them, or whoever it is that they become visible to then determine, or they measure that against their decision of whether or not it's going to be best for them long term, and then they may make the decision as a result of it. Most people lie, not necessarily because they're afraid that they're going to get in trouble. Listen, if a guy lies to a woman, let's say the woman that he laying next to every day, his wife, and he slept with somebody, right? He not lying to her because he afraid that he going to get in trouble by her. He lying to her because he's trying to save face as far as how he feels about his personal brand. And most dudes ain't scared of no chick. What she going to do to him? Whoop him?
Well, it's not, and
Ego. It's your personal brand.
Well, yeah, but so all those people who are on her side, the city girls, all the people you advocate against, the simps, that's his audience. So
who you talking about?
Submit to you that
Logan Paul's audience?
Yeah. Like, so, they remember he did the cryptocurrency and all that stuff, and it scammed a lot of
girls
people.
Is the Logan Paul's audience?
Well, no. I'm saying those are the type of people who are like, maybe not necessarily them, but that sort of mainstream type of people would come after him if he were to say no.
That's not his audience
because
anyway.
Then,
what do he care?
Because he already went on an apology tour, similar to, because he said something that he thought was cool. So I think he would probably want to avoid that certain scenario. Like the whole sisterhood would close ranks around his current or former fiance if he were to go that route, and they would go after him, and he'd be like, well, I don't want to lose the bag, I don't want to lose this money.
Ain't no city girls checking for Logan Paul's content. They ain't never
no I don't think no, I'm not talking about like necessarily the black. I mean, when I say I'll say modern women, how about that? I'll say all the people who are like his or like the fiance he's marrying, all those people would suddenly come up, go around him and say, oh, hey, even guys would say, oh, you got bitched out of this. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to curse. It's like, oh, sorry, you got messed over.
Whatever you want to say on this platform.
Yeah, I would say they would all come after him and say, oh, look, you got punked out of this. You let this other guy run, convince you out of this. You're a coward for not going with your woman.
Let's back up. What you're basically saying is that Logan Paul should get married in order to save face with his brand versus doing the thing that's in his best interest long term. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying he should. I'm saying that's what Patrick bet. I'm not. I don't care either way. I'm not saying he should. I'm saying I think that's what Patrick Bet David meant when he said he must. And I'm saying he will because that's his decision. I don't think it's a good idea, at all, but personally, but I think that's what he's going to do because he's locked in. But
if he gets married to her, it ain't gonna have nothing to do with his brand. The best thing for his brand is to get the heck away from her.
You think so?
100%. The people that support Paul, first of all, is not majority women. Secondly, they're younger, right? Because his audience grew up with him. Third, his brand will be much more enhanced if he makes a stronger decision for himself. And fourth, nobody, long term or short term, respects a man that marries a hoe. Nobody. Nobody respects a man that marries. Nobody. He will be the butt of a joke for the rest of his life.
You don't think the mainstream medium, and I guess all those, I'll just use the like the View audience. Those type of people are gonna, because you're right, they're not checking for him. However, if this thing were brought to the forefront, would they then turn and be like,
have you seen those women on The View?
No. I'm not saying those. Yeah,
I
know.
Do you think that the View audience is checking for Logan Paul? It's two totally different.
What I'm saying is the modern woman. So I'll use everybody who's basically against. So the people who rage against you when you say, hey, this is what you should do, the thing that's in your own best interest. All those people who they're not necessarily checking, but they're the type of people that if you say something they don't like, they're going to come and try to cancel you. They didn't care before, but they would now because they hear he would then be like, oh, I'm not marrying her. And then all the red pill people and stuff would look, it would look like he's rocking with them.
Nope.
I disagree
with you. I disagree 100%. The best thing for him to do for his brand is to completely remove himself and don't deal with her at all. Not at all.
You don't think everyone's gonna say you got punked out by this guy who you were gonna fight?
No, I think everybody will say, "Hey, you made the better decision to get up out of there once you had new information." Hey, we all go through it. If I'm coaching Logan Paul and I'm coaching him through this situation, I would make it a joke if I'm him. Oh man, I almost got caught up with this other chick, bro. Listen, man, I'm glad I came to my senses. Y'all, we all go through it, fam. Ha ha ha. Make a joke out of it, keep it moving, and run the numbers up. Ain't nobody gonna hold Logan Paul because listen, most guys can identify it. His core audience can identify with getting finessed by a chick. That's normal. You almost got caught up. I would actually make Dylan my homie as a result of it. I would make him a co-host and I would bring him on and I would make a whole joke out of it. I will make a whole show out of it like, yo, yeah, all right, you got the best of me on that one, fam. Roll with it.
Well, I guess I was looking at it as a, and maybe you may know more about this. I'm probably looking at this from a weird perspective, but I always wonder why did Will and Jade, why did he not divorce her? That seems like an obvious decision. Any other man would have done this. I'm sorry. And I thought that, maybe it's because of the public persona of what it would look like. That's why he's not doing it. He wants to keep that face. And so I looked at Logan Paul as sort of a similar situation as.
And how is Will? How is Will coming up as a result of it? Is he suffering even more? Is his brand suffering more by staying with her, or is he actually becoming more successful as a result of it?
Well, I don't think it's good for him, but I mean, he does he see that? I mean, that's what
it don't matter if he see it.
That's what we think on this side of the internet, but
don't matter if he see it or not. We see it. We can see it.
Well, that's what we see.
We can observe it, and we can see that is negatively impacting him in every way, shape, and form. Meanwhile, Leonardo DiCaprio keep him a new model every single week. He upgrade every 2 or 3 weeks. As soon as they age out, he go and get him a new model. And ain't nobody. And that when we love Leo Cap, we love Leonardo DiCaprio. Ain't nobody ever had no smoke for Leonardo DiCaprio. Not one person. He keep him a new model every single year. He keep him 2. He switch them out as soon as they get of age. And ain't nobody tripping on Leonardo DiCaprio. But you telling me that Will Smith's brand goes down as a result of going against getting rid of the thing that's slowing him down? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah. Well, I could see what you're speaking in. I think is in a logical, like common sense more form, not versus what that person actually. I mean, I honestly think inside Will Smith, and I mean, we're kind of getting away from the Logan Paul thing, but I think in general, the reason he would have to go forward with it is because he's like, well, I've already kind of said this, I guess you sort of a consistency bias, I guess you would say. Hey, I've already said this. If I go against this, I'm going to look bad.
Nothing wrong with changing your mind. When you're wrong, you make adjustments, you change your mind. It shows that you're human. People rock with it. They can identify with it. Actually, his brand will probably go up as a result of it.
Well, I disagree with. That's where I disagree, because I think if he went and said I changed, they're going to be like, oh, you flipped. Because as you know, in the mainstream, when you change your mind, people look at you as like, they punish you for it.
No, they don't. They rock with you as a result of it. When you come back to the front of the congregation and you say I'm wrong versus you standing on it and you dying on that sword, that's the thing that kills you and destroys you. When somebody come back and they say, you know what, I was off about that, fam. Let me get myself together. And they genuine about it and they real and the people can sense it. People love that. People love a redemption story. They love it when you rock out. They love it when you come back. They love it when you win. 100% of the time. People looking for, listen, it's a different time. People not looking for a polished image. They looking for authenticity. People don't care about whether or not you failed or you went through something or any of that type of stuff. They want to know that you're real. They want to know that you're being honest with them. They want to know that you actually being transparent about your thoughts, your feelings. When you going through something, they can rock with that because they going through it too. Everybody got stuff that they going through, right? Nobody cares about a polished relationship anymore. Everybody want to know how you overcame the problems that you were dealing with, right? We in a different age. It's different now. This ain't what the media ain't controlling as much as we think that they are. We are the culture. And so when you start to identify your audience, the one thing that you never do is you never sell out your audience. You never do things for visual reasons. You do it because it's the truth. And people can respect you and they're going to rock with you. Your core is going to be your core no matter what. We don't give a fuck about the fair weather fans. You stay true to who you are. Your people always going to love you as a result of it. Trust me.
But what you're saying is correct. But he's already sold out his
He didn't. He
audience
didn't
for a
know she
bag.
was a hoe until she got
No,
started
no, no,
getting
no,
false
no, no.
numbers.
I'm talking about. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, and that's why I say I said earlier he's a slave to the bag. For instance, you remember the crypto thing he did?
No, I wasn't. I don't know nothing about that.
Well, he did a
I don't
crypto thing.
follow.
Bottom
I
line,
don't
he scammed
follow.
a lot of people.
I don't follow all of that, so I can't speak to that.
Well, okay, we can. If you don't want to talk about it, we can move on.
Well, I don't know. I can't talk about it because I'm not familiar with it, so I don't have an opinion on it.
Okay, well, but that's I guess
And
that
I
was sort
gotta
of the
move
basis.
on because I got some other people I want to bring up.
All right, thank you for taking my call. Appreciate it.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. I'm gonna go Christian, and I'm gonna go Cassandra, and I'm gonna go Dev. All right, be patient with me. Be patient with me. Christian, what up, though?
What's going on with you?
What's up, my friend? You want to be on camera or no?
No, I'm all right.
Okay, what's the word, my friend? How you feel?
I'm feeling all right. I'm gonna place this now. I got some work I'm doing in the side too, if you don't mind.
Yeah, you on the audio. You're not on camera anyway, so you cool.
Okay, that works out. I just wanted to give my flowers to you. I've been watching you for a little bit. You shoot, thanks to you, you even helped me and my wife go over our hard parts. We now getting ready to celebrate our 10-year renewal soon.
Yeah, hold on. Let me give a round of applause for that one on there. Shout out to you and wifey, Chris. I love it. I love it. Give me some insight. What's happening? What was happening?
Man, nothing much. I gone and I tried to go and we were going and we were following what the world was telling us to do, and we, me and my wife are very religious, so you helped me reconnect. I found you just in my hard point, and then I guess after that I kind of found my space, found my center again, and just worked from there. And so after that you've gone and had me on my grind. I doubled my income since I saw you about 2 years ago. In the process of getting
Yeah.
also, I get credit. I'm a Patreon, so I did Interview Like a King, followed that, got a new
Hold
job.
on. You know, Anton ain't short of celebrating himself, so I'm taking it all in right now.
Oh, Jesus. No, you deserve it. You deserve it. You giving good game. I appreciate you.
So wait a minute. You watched the Interview Like a King video on the Patreon.
I did. Gone and I had an interview with the panel. I thought it wasn't gonna work out, but I
So
got
you watched the
accepted.
video and you doubted what I was saying. At
Well,
first.
I didn't panel. I was like, man, this is a lot of people. So
And
I
what
played it off.
happened? And what happened?
I still did what I did. I let myself show out, and they saw it. So I talked my talk, and then they gave me my offer now. So I'm in the process of doing this
Hold
process now.
on. We're not just gonna skip over the fact that you just leveraged the information and got the bag on that.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah,
But
you're
hold
right.
on,
I got it.
wait. Was the information accurate?
At 100%.
Oh my
100.
God, bro. Hold on. Let me give myself my flowers. I'm telling the people that we giving them real practical information that allows for them to level up in every aspect of their life, bro. Congratulations on the new offer, bro.
I appreciate it. I mean, it's a big, man, huge opportunity. This will be the first time in my relationship. My wife's a nurse, so this will be the first time in my relationship where I'm making significantly more than her. I'm trying to go. I'm trying to get her to be with my kids, and I'm trying to go and get them to a private school. I'm trying to get them to be in the spot. But that's one of the things I wanted to talk to you about. I been saw some of your stuff, and one of the things that I was thinking of, I just wanted to shoot by you. You let me know what you think. I got two kids. I got a 10-year-old, 6-year-old. my son's 6, my daughter's 10,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to raise my kids, be in they square, be authentic. But I'm finding myself that I've got to give 2 different sets of advice as I'm raising my children. My daughter, I'm advocating for her to be her best self. I'm advocating for her to do what's right for herself. And, if she comes of age, I'm going to tell her, hey,
She
look,
the
this is,
younger one or she the older one?
she's the older one.
Okay, so she 10.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. And my son, I'm a little bit more harder on him. I try to give him, I know he's capable of doing what I have to give him to do. But ultimately, I know when they come of age and they both going to get to the part where I'm at. I mean, I'm a young parent. I had my kids at 18.
Okay.
So, it's hard I'm learning this each step of the way. And I'm trying my best to do the best I can. But I mean, I
So what's
realize
the
that
dilemma? What's the dilemma?
as we grow up, this culture around us is just getting more and more toxic.
Uh-huh.
I was blessed enough I was to find my wife at 18. So, I mean, this is great. But I'm just worried that when my kids are 18, that they won't find the same thing. I'll advocate for my daughter to go and get married. And because I'm instilling all the right things in her, I'm sure she'll be fine.
She gonna
But
date her father.
Right.
I
But
guarantee
my
you.
son, do you think it'll be the same for boys though? I don't know if I would advocate for my son to get married so early.
Well, it's not that you would advocate for your son to get early. It's to teach your son not to be a pussy hound. Listen, boys is gonna be boys. It's just the way
Right.
that it is. I was raised in the church or whatever, and I'm gonna just tell you, bro. Like, I can call my mom on the phone right now. She'll tell you what I was like. Matter of fact, here, let's do this. I don't even know if she got this number. I was raised in the church, but the point that I'm making is that I came back to the thing that I was always supposed to be in the first place because the foundation of who I was based off of what my parents instilled in me.
Hello?
Hey, Ma, how you doing?
I'm all right. Who's this?
It's Anton. You ain't got this number.
Oh, that's right. You always tell me that.
Yeah, you ain't got this number. This is me. I'm on the live stream. I'm on the live stream.
Oh, hi there, live stream.
I'm talking to a guy, and he's raising his kid, and he's worried about his son. Not necessarily worried, but he's just concerned about the idea that his son, who he's gonna marry and all of this other type of stuff, right?
Okay.
And I was kind of giving him some insight on the fact that who I am today is different than what I went through when I was younger as far as how I was looking at girls.
Say that one more time. Who you are today.
Who I am today is much different than how it was because I was telling them boys is going to be boys.
That's true.
And no matter how much church, no matter how many whoopings, no matter, you know what I'm saying, how much Bible we read or whatever, Bible study or whatever, I was me.
That's very true.
But I came back to it. Tell him how I was when I was younger and I was when I was getting into all of the girls and stuff. In your opinion.
So, what was the question though?
What I'm telling him is that your son is going to come back to being whatever it is that you put in him.
That's a fact.
Regardless of what he goes through when he's younger.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm using myself as an example to illustrate what I went through and the things that I wound up doing versus what it is that I am now.
Yeah, it kind of like comes back to full circle. And I say that, and using you as the example, you had a solid foundation. You were taught really, really well. You had great education. You were raised pretty strict, kind of militant, but you were free at the same time. You had a lot of freedom to do you and to develop into who you actually have become. You went through a phase in your life where it's almost like a rebellious stage, but I think that's just part of life. And then you've come back to who you were told you were going to be maybe 30 years ago. And who you were, what was prophesied who you were going to be before you were even born. But all of the foundations were laid, and whatever the foundations are or were, you eventually circle back to who it is and what you were taught. That's what you did. And out of all four of y'all, actually, so 3 of y'all did that. Andre kind of like really stayed on the path.
Yeah, Andre never really fumbled at all.
No, but
and he the oldest.
Yeah, he's the oldest. Who's to say maybe because more was put into him by him being the oldest, or I did always say, they're looking at you, Andre, so you gotta be the example all the time. So I don't know how that, maybe that's the case, but you, Gino, and Gregory, kind of like, if you want to say cliche, got off the beaten path.
Mm-hmm.
And like the Bible say, and you're better quoted than I am, you will come right back. What is that? How is that quoted?
Train up a child, he'll never depart. In a way.
Never depart from it. Yes. So and to be honest, I was a little, I could say, worried about y'all in your rebellious errors, and but as y'all got older, I see how y'all went right back to what you were taught. Mm-hmm. And what you were said that you were going to be. And you were told that you have the gift of insight, and that you were also told that you were a minister. You never followed through with your ministry, but as I watch you on your shows on YouTube, you preach like brother, and you know that Bible back and forth. How many times you read it? 5 or 6, 7 times. You quote. Your ministry is getting more and more powerful. You stuck to the foundations of being loyal to your marriage, no adultery. Everything that you were taught, spiritually and naturally, you came right back to it, full circle.
All right, thanks, Ma. I'll call you later.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
So there's your answer. Stop worrying about it.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Don't worry about it. Just teach them, right? Teach them and show them the ways. Part of the ways in which you teach them is that you have to be a reflection of the things that you want your daughter to marry and the man that you would want your son to grow up to be. And then they gonna come back to it. They're going to fail. They're gonna go through stuff. They're gonna go through a rebellious stage. They're gonna have stuff happen to them. Don't restrict their freedom, but teach them and allow for them to fail in controlled environments. And then I'm telling you, they're gonna come back to it every single time. They're gonna come back to the very thing. They're gonna come back to the very thing in which you taught them. I guarantee it every time.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate that. I guess I worry about the world too much, like you said, instead of worrying about what I'm teaching my kids.
Yep,
but
you got it.
Hey, man, I appreciate it. I just want you to know again, man, you're doing good work. Keep it up.
All right, my friend.
All
right. We'll go to Cassandra. Hold on, let me get you up here. What up, Cassandra? You want to be on camera or no?
No, I'm at work.
All right. I got you. What's up, baby girl? How you feel?
Hey, so I'm doing good, Anton. I just want to appreciate you and Rita publicly for her allowing you to do what you do. But I do have a question. I do agree with you when you say men shouldn't date women with children, but I have a question.
Okay.
Because I agree with you because I have a son. He's gonna, like I said on the Q show, he's gonna grow up one day, and I want him to have his own family.
Mm-hmm.
But my question is, do you think men who have children from previous relationships deserve women with no children, or they should subject themselves to women with children? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, if
Mm-hmm.
you basically, that's the question. How do you feel about that? Because I agree when you say if you don't have children, but how do you agree as a whole? What would you say?
You want to know the
Because I
truth?
asked that question, but I'm sorry.
You want to know the truth?
I think I know what you're going to say, but I just want to. You
What
don't.
am I
I
gonna
have
say?
never heard you dissect that. I think you're going to say he should still go for a woman without children, but I just want to know why would you say that?
Okay. So A, you are partially right. I'm gonna add the question. I'm gonna add the context though. You're partially right, but I'm gonna add the context though. Okay, so A, I don't think that any man should go and try to take care of another man's kids under no circumstance. Now, I do agree with the idea that people should be able to date, or I think that some people should take it into consideration more after their children are raised. Right? Do I think that it
Right.
also could work? Absolutely. It's been situations that it works across the board, right? But women are fundamentally different from men.
Yeah, I agree.
It comes out of your womb. You know what I'm saying? This is something that had to grow in you and grow inside of you, and then it came out of you. It's some things in life, and it's just the way that God made us. It's some things in life that is just always going to be a double standard, and you cannot compare a lion to a tiger. It just
Right.
doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? Like, men inherently are still going to look at women a certain type of way. Where it almost reminds me of the conversation where they say stuff like, "Well, shouldn't an older woman talk to a younger man? I mean, shouldn't an older woman talk to an older man and a younger man talk to?" No, because the things that women look for in men is different than the things that men look for in women, right? And women play that
Right.
to their advantage when they're younger because they'll talk to a guy with more resources, but they didn't have to necessarily do anything to earn it. But then at the same time, on the flip side of that, they'll complain when they get to the other side of it and they get older and they don't have access to the same things because they still competing against another younger woman. So it's always going to be a double standard in one way or another. But the reality is this: in no way, shape, or form. Okay, I'll use myself as an example. Let's say I got divorced, or for whatever reason. Let's say I'm not divorced. Let's say I'm widowed, divorced, whatever. God forbid, right? Let's say I got divorced today. I got a 15-year-old daughter. I'm still me.
Right. I get that.
I can get anything that I want. I'm successful. I'm rich. I'm going to become even more successful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
I get it. I
why,
get what
why,
you're
why
saying.
would I, as a guy with a 15-year-old daughter, ever subject myself to talking to a woman with a 15-year-old daughter?
Okay, so I have another question. So, say
But
for instance,
conversely,
my son,
conversely,
huh?
conversely, why would a man want to talk to my ex-wife, who I'm still actively in my daughter's life, that has a 15-year-old daughter?
Yeah, that wouldn't. Yeah, I
It's
understand. Yeah,
different.
it can be tricky. It can like because I understand men are territorial. So
It's different.
if yeah, I get
And
that.
not,
So
not
what if
only
the
that, though, Cassandra, you also got to take into consideration that she's still mine. At any moment, I can go get that. She still got to stay in contact with me. She still got to interact with me.
that's true.
Everything. Like at any point, I can come over here and be like, "What's going on? Come here. Sit her on my lap. What you doing?" That's it. It's over. Right
Yeah,
then and there,
I
it's
get
over.
it because you have access. The access doesn't. I get that, but I have another scenario. So, what if the choice was between a modern single woman and a traditional woman with children? What would you advise him?
I
Because
don't think that any
most
woman is traditional anymore.
you don't think so.
Absolutely not. I think it's over.
Okay.
It's
I
over.
mean, like hypothetically, what would you say?
Okay, pose the
Like,
scenario again.
if my son came to me and be like, Mom, I know your standards are you don't want me to go into a home that's already made. I may be mistreated, I may be disrespected, but I met this woman, she have a child or two,
No,
but she respects me, she
no.
honors me, it's still
Under
no?
no circumstances, no.
Okay.
Never.
Okay.
I don't care how old would your son be in this scenario?
I would hope I wouldn't see, that's another thing. Like he would have to be at least not even by age. I would think he said he has to be mentally capable of tackling that. I wouldn't want him to like the guy that I was watching a live with my husband on Wednesday with the guy at the end of the video who like the maturity level of him led him to have children by a woman who already had kids. But I
And
think
I
with
know them,
him
and so I had to be. Well, no. You're talking about Wednesday. That's different. You're right. Right. Okay, I got you.
towards the end,
And
the
he
guy with the
suffered
like
for it, didn't he?
yeah. Yeah. But if his mindset was the way you and I think his name Freeze, if his mindset was at the level that you guys think he would be, would you allow him to do the opposite?
Nope.
Or you're just not bending it?
Never change. I think that as men, we have the reason why women run over us is because we don't have standards that we stick to, and we change them depending on the woman that we love at that particular time. But my standards don't change across the board. The one thing that Rita know about me, I'll go as far as to even say, hopefully she's not watching this right now, but it really don't matter. I'll go so far as to even say, Rita understands that this is still a competition.
Right.
See, even if she
I'm
don't know,
learning that from you now. I'm
think
learning
about it
that from
like
you
this. Think
now.
about it like this. Think about it like this. I always say that you don't really start dating until you get married, right? And one of the reasons why a lot of relationships fall apart is because people get complacent. Now, I'm not going to do anything, right? Regardless of whatever happens, I'm not going to do anything. But it's still in the back of her mind, she got to know that I'm leveling up every day. She got to know that people are shooting a shot every day. And so as a result, she also has to know that she still has to compete subconsciously. If women don't feel like they still have to compete for the best of you and they just come and give the rest of themselves to you, and that's just the end of the conversation, then you've already lost in your relationship because she doesn't value as much. Meanwhile, it's
Right.
always going to be people that want to take her spot, regardless of the fact that I'm not going to go
That's
in
true.
there. It's still going to be there. Every woman know that if they are with any man that is worth any value, whether he a regular guy or whether he famous or whether he just got a bunch of money, women have to understand. And that's why I keep telling women all the time that you're not ready to be in a relationship with a high value man. Because, first of all, they can't even handle their own jealousy and their own insecurities with the idea that this man is one of the hottest commodities on the market. You a black man, you successful, you can communicate effectively, you have money and resources, right? You're spiritual, you're everything that every single woman out there really wants. So, just naturally, regardless of the fact that I'm not doing nothing, it's always going to be a competition. And so
Yeah.
most women need to just go and get a regular guy because they're not really ready for that. They're not ready for what comes along with that because every woman is plotting to take your spot. And so the
Yeah.
competition has to be, you're going to at least have to keep up with me. You're going to have to level up. You're going to
Right.
have to make sure that you focus. You're going to have to communicate effectively. You're going to have to make sure that you continue to mature in your mindset. You're going to have to go to the gym. You're going to have to take care of business. That's when the work begins, is when you get married.
Yep, I get it. You absolutely right. I think you had said a couple things to gave out advice towards women, and I was listening to a couple of your live streams, and I was like, had like you don't really get that type of advice from like we don't hear that,
Of
but you
course you
also
don't.
have to have the ear to hear. You don't hear that you're in a competition. You don't hear that you still have to level up. You still have to be the person they first met. You don't hear that. So me hearing that helping me trying to, step my game up, because when I was like, dang, like I didn't even think of that. Anton, right? Like it started getting in my head. So it's making me want to level up and be the better person I can be for my husband, because I know we may not be at your level, but I believe we at a good level. But I know people may want my husband. I know they may look at him when a woman has a man who's devoted to her and doing what he needs to do, providing, he's automatically going to be on the radar no matter where his money at. So I had to take into consideration. I was like, dang, that's kind of tough, but I had to swallow that pill. Like, okay, Cassandra, step your game up, because Anton's right. So like, I do agree with what you're saying. I think you should keep saying it, because some of us are out here listening. You know, you may not get all the feedback that you may be looking for, but me as a woman, I do take what you saying. I listen. It be tough. I be listening. I be watching. I'm like, dang man, Anton landing on thick, but he's telling the truth. Because at first, my husband was watching you, and I was like, I don't like that guy. Like, he
Of
always like, I
course.
just didn't like you for no reason at all. Just listen to the snippets, and I actually start listening to this. So now I'm a bad chaser. Now I was like, okay,
That's what's
this
up.
man
See,
really.
most people when they first, you know what I'm saying, find me, it's difficult for them.
Yeah, it's difficult, but I say keep landing on thick, because myself, I can't speak for nobody else. I am taking into consideration and making the changes that I need to do for myself to be the best wife to my husband. Also, thank you for letting me on today and answer my questions, and shout out to the
Absolutely,
bad
anytime,
chasing.
love.
Alrighty.
See you, baby. All right, I'm gonna get Dev up here. Let me see. What up, Dev?
What up, big dog?
Chilling, my friend. What's the word?
It's funny you said that. That last part you said, it's been different about the. I don't think women understand the type of attention that men get when they
When you
seem to
winning.
have. Yeah, it's you're not checking for them, but it's just so obvious. I'm like, okay, I ain't worried about it, but whew,
Mm-hmm.
it's
That's what's up.
been busier because you've been doing a lot of things about my city, and that's been super profitable.
Yeah, man. I love your city. I love your
So
city. I love all of these cities, man. I love coming to these cities, man, and rocking out. It's dope.
listen, man, it's just a whole thing where it's got me working 20 hours a day now for the last 2 weeks because
Don't
people
kill
been going
yourself though.
crazy.
You gotta have balance. You got to be able to learn how to manage your time more effectively. It's not just about working a lot, it's about working effectively.
No, this is
Remember that.
about managing people. This ain't about me being out there clocking it, but give people give the options. They'll try to be slick with you. So
Yeah.
so
That's
there's
what's up,
more
my friend.
micromanaging and everything like that. But for the most part, I think a big thing that especially some of the men, if you start talking about this, is with the coming times and everything going. Um, a lot of men are talking about, getting into tech and stuff like that, but I also feel like that's not for everybody. I think a lot of men and women and families would benefit from more service-based businesses and things like that because
What, you want them to be cashiers?
no, I want you to get a skill that you could actually market and do well and get paid well. And
Okay.
there's plenty of things where my son is going to vocational high school, but everybody don't have that. But at the same time, it's still not an excuse to go learn something. A lot
Yeah.
of people spend a lot of time wanting to go entertain themselves, but don't want to actually go learn how to make some more money. But then complain or want a loan or stuff like that. Like it's so much money out here. Like it's a recession for some, but not for all.
Yeah. That's what's up.
So it's just a big thing where I'm here to vouch for a lot of things you have said. They're 100% true.
I
No matter how
appreciate you, my friend. Thank you, bro.
yeah, no matter how ugly it gets, but I know you got to go. But everything doing well. It's just a big thing where I think a lot of people need to self reflect, understand where they are, and then take the next 6 months to measure where you need to be. Whether that's
Yeah.
cut people off, educate, digress, stop doing a lot of stuff. There's a lot of waste out here, and I don't see people surviving. It's definitely two classes. You either got it or you don't.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with you. All right, my
So,
friend. Thank you, bro.
all right, man.
Thank you, man. I'm gonna go to one more person. Let's see what we can do. Carl. Carl. What up, Carl?
Let's go, boss. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's the word, my friend?
I'm doing pretty good. Hope you have a great day, my man.
You too. What's
So
the
yeah, I've been
word?
watching you for a minute, and I'm 23, and I'm just trying to get some advice on like what to do moving forward. I don't have like any college degree, but I've been owning my own business for like the past 4 years. Also, I work for like a different company here and there that I do the same type of skills. I just want to know like, should I stay within that company to just keep learning, keep out, keep building on my skills, or should
What
I go
type of
more
company
towards?
is it?
It's a fitness company.
So you're in a fitness company. How long you been working there?
I've been working there for 2 years.
And then what do you make?
Right now, I'm making around like 6K a month.
So you're making $6,000 a month. So you're making $72,000 a year.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what do you do at the fitness company?
At the fitness company, I coach, I service, I do interviews. I basically run the marketing in the back end,
Uh,
while like the main guy markets everything.
Okay. So how long you been working there?
I've been working there 2 years. Yeah.
So you've been working there for 2 years. All right, cool. So your question is, should you stay with that company or should you continue to level up doing something else?
Yeah, because I helped that company. We've been like the first year we're making around like 200K for the year. Now we're making 600K for the year. Next year we're projected to hit a
You
million.
got equity in the company?
Oh yeah, little equity company. Yeah,
What's a little equity? How much of the company do you own? How much stock do you have?
I own like 5% of the company.
So you own 5% of the company? Well, then yeah, you're gonna naturally grow the company because you invested, right? You have a vested interest in the company becoming successful. Now, if you're just there because you're making a decent amount of money, then I think that you should also diversify by making sure that you continue to grow outside of that company. Because you can do both. It just depends on how much time that you have allocated towards, whatever success looks like for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do y'all ever plan on IPO, an initial public offering, or selling off a portion of the company or something like that?
No. Really, the dream of the company is next 5 years to potentially become like $1 million a month company. So we're working towards that.
Okay. Yeah, if I'm you, I'm doing both, but at the same time, I'm making sure that I'm putting every effort into making sure that I'm growing the company because you got a vested interest in it. If you own 5% of the company and they ever sell or they ever evolve or they ever grow, then that means that you then benefit financially as a result of it.
Awesome. Appreciate
I'm
it, man.
surprised you got 5%. That's a lot, man.
No, yeah, we started from like ground up, and I've been here ever since. Like, I've seen employees come and go, but I'm always wanting to like stick, but also like learn more. Because for me, I want to learn from people that are better than me, that are richer than me, because it's the only way I see myself growing.
Yeah, stay focused, man. You got it. You young, you get into the bag. Just don't do any self-inflicted wounds. Don't go and have no babies out of wedlock. Don't go out here and fumble up the bag. Don't go and increasing your lifestyle in order to match your income. Just continue to invest in yourself, invest in what it is that you got going on, and then continue to expand your skill set, and that's gonna make you more marketable.
Awesome, man. Appreciate it.
All right, my friend. All right. That's it for today. I love you. I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Go watch that Real Life Street Stars. You can type in Real Life Productions right now. It's probably premiering right now. I think it's playing right now. I did an interview over there while I was in Dallas. Go and check that out. That's playing right now. Yeah, man. Go and watch that. The Anton Daniels interview on there is popping. We killing it. I love you guys. I appreciate you. It's been a great show today. Make sure you tune in to Fight Club tonight. It's absolutely lit. I love y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Oh, wait. Before I go, let me read some of these super chats. Got to acknowledge the people. Aaron says, if you know the history, then you know the first scabs were black men during the Great Migration to escape Jim Crow sharecropping. They were getting beat. Interesting. I didn't realize that. Thank you, Aaron, for the insight. Vern Brown is in the building. Vern says, didn't know you were a software engineer. I'm a systems engineer. Salute to you, black men in IT. Shout out to you, my friend. Speeds the B says, you do believe in preaching the gospel. You do it every day. Some people say that. I say the church is not a building. The church is, well, we'll get into that later. Tech Coach Ralph says, from your resume presentation to how you answer questions to your body language to the questions you ask in the interview matters, you have to properly prepare for each step of the process. Shout out to you, my friend. And then last but not least, my guy, Greg Charlie, says, I've been trying to get a coaching call. Check the Discord. Sent the email, no luck. When will you be available to do coaching calls again? Rita has managed that. Rita's managing that. So y'all gotta get on Rita for that. Rita's very, very, very vigilant about protecting the schedule and getting things popping. So just keep sending the emails, keep contacting her, and she's gonna oversee that. I promise you, it's gonna open up. Actually, it's funny because I just had a conversation with her the day before yesterday, and I said, "All right, cool. I've cleared out a lot of my schedule. I want to start adding people back to the calendar. So she should be reaching out to y'all pretty shortly, to be honest with you. But go ahead and send her an email and see what happens." Brock says, "Pass the love offering." Shout out to Brock. I appreciate you. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, guys. Thank you for continuing to support me. Again, go over there and watch that Real Life Street Stars interview. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all later. I need y'all to do me one more favor before we get up out of here, though. Make sure you share this with your family and friends. We don't want to be rich and successful and married by ourselves. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.